Is Don Nealon of West Virginia and Bill Dooley of Virginia Tech.
Well, they're both feeling a lot of pressure. Bill Dooley, because essentially he's been fired by the university, and of course Don Nealon because of their terrible loss to Pitt last week.
The Mountaineers would like to get things turned around defensively. They gave Pitt a lot of yards and a lot of points last week.
Well, they gave yards rushing and passing, over 300 yards passing. They're really going to shore up that defense today.
And Virginia Tech's on a roll. They've won 3 in a row.
Well, they have an opening day loss, which they've overcome with a big win over Clemson. That was the real key to their season.
We'll be back in just a moment. It's West Virginia and Virginia Tech set to go here in Blacksburg, Virginia today. Today's game is being brought to you by Piedmont, the airline serving more cities east of the Mississippi than any other airline. By your local Mazda dealer. By Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by the Virginia Farm Bureau, the largest organization of farmers in the state, providing many needed programs and services.
This is my lava machine. This is my lava machine. New lava liquid. In 30 years of working with my hands, I've never used a hand cleaner like it. Power of pumice in a liquid. Feel it, powering away dirt, grease, just about anything. Powering hands clean. I'm Roger Gustin. Friend, when I talk power, I know what I'm talking about.
Lava, new liquid and traditional bar. Powers hands clean.
Ready? Okay. Life's easier with a 5-valve Nissan.
Much easier with the new Maxima, a rare automobile with luxury, performance, and front-wheel drive. Or the Z, a true sports car that combines handling, style, and power with comfort, reliability, and quality. Whether it's a tough pickup, a sporty coupe, or a family car, at Bob Bell Nissan, we have your style. Bob Bell Nissan, Route 419.
Thanks, Bob!
Route 460 west of Salem is the first place you should look for replacement parts for imported autos. Import Auto Recycling has thousands of used parts, most at 1/2 of new part cost. All used parts are covered by warranty. With new salvage arriving daily, you won't have to spend all week looking for the replacement you need. In the Roanoke Valley, phone 380-3180. All others use our 1-800 number. Find the imported part you need at the best price at Import Auto Recycling. Route 460 west of Salem. Import Auto Recycling delivers to wholesale dealers.
If your favorite team is Virginia, Virginia Tech, University of North Carolina, or the Washington Redskins, Miami Dolphins, Dallas Cowboys, or almost any other, you'll want to visit CMT Sporting Goods and show your colors. Make your goal CMT Sporting Goods in Roanoke, Tanglewood, Lynchburg, Blacksburg, and opening soon in Danville.
Here today, West Virginia coming in at 2-2. They've lost 2 straight games, and the Virginia Tech Hokies are 3-1. Lane Stadium, Blacksburg, Virginia, where the Virginia Tech Hokies over the years have been a most successful football team. But Stan White, first of all, West Virginia. Here's a ball club that started 2-0. They lost a tough game at home against Maryland, and then last week went to Pittsburgh, and Mike Gottfried's Panthers really put the bruising on them, 48 points, and they gave up a ton of yards. So Don Nealon is very concerned about his defense, and particularly the secondary.
Well, he has to be. Travis Curtis, who supposedly is one of the top defensive safeties in all of college football, has been injured. And when he has been able to play, because of the injury, he hasn't played effectively. They need him in there, and they need him to play well, up to his potential, for them to be able to shore up that pass defense, which gave up over 300 yards last week to John Kinzer of Pitt.
Let's take a look at some of the principles of today's game, and we'll start off with the quarterback of the Mountaineers, Mike Timko. Timko's a quarterback who's been playing pretty well this year, but an off week last week at Pitt.
Well, he did. He took over for the last 3 games last year. He won 5 in a row, the last 3 last year and 2 this year, but he's only completing about 48% of his passes. He has to get well over 50% to have an effective pass offense.
Stan.
Well, they protected him, but they haven't been able to get the offense moving the way you have to, especially when they get inside the 20-yard line. You got to get points, and that means you got to blow people out. You got to be able to run the ball. You said inexperienced. They're all sophomores, none of them returning starters. They have to mature rather quickly if West Virginia is going to have a winning season.
When Timko goes to the air, one of his favorite receivers is Calvin Phillips, number 82.
Well, Calvin got the chance to play because of an injury to John Talley, who was a quarterback last year and now is a starting wide receiver. But Phillips has 7 catches and can come up with a big play. He's a guy they look to when they need some third down yardage.
Long and lanky Floridian Calvin Phillips. Another one of West Virginia's favorite receivers is Harvey Smith. He's a big target, soft hands, and one man we'll look for a lot today.
Well, he's their game breaker. He's already surpassed the number of catches he had last year. He has 14. He's their leading receiver. And when you really want something, when you really need the big play, they're going to go to Harvey Smith. He also returns punts for him.
Harvey Smith was the man who caught the touchdown pass with just 6 seconds to go a couple of weeks ago to pull out a Mountaineer victory over East Carolina down in Greenville, North Carolina. So he is indeed a big play man.
Well, I know they needed that catch because obviously East Carolina has the longest losing streak in Division I football, and I'm sure West Virginia didn't want to be the team to end that losing streak.
Some big names on that West Virginia defense. We'll talk more about that and more about our college matchup today between West Virginia and Virginia Tech when we continue from Blacksburg in just a moment.
Down 86. The magic continues at Magic City Ford. 2.9%. But on October 8th, the 2.9% factory financing and rebates must end. Bottom line, low prices on 86 Ford cars and trucks. Ford financing as low as 2.9% and rebates up to $1,000. Extra. And now, get a bottom line deal on a new Taurus, and Magic City Ford will write you a check for $400. Countdown 86. Hurry. Ford incentives end October 8th. Magic City Ford. Come on by and feel the magic.
Wimmer Tire presents The People's Protest.
Once upon a time, there was a tire store that sold the best tires. Wimmer Tire Stores. The tires were good, but the people demanded more, like front-end alignment. So Wimmer did them, and the people insisted Wimmer Tire take care of their brakes, and they did, and the people cried out for shock and strut installation, and Wimmer Tire answered. The people demanded it, and now they have it. A full-service tire store. Wimmer Tire, where you wear a bumper sticker and save 25% and maybe more.
There really is a lot of difference in insurance agencies. Some agents only represent one company and have to abide with the dictate that they get from their home office.
As an independent insurance agency, our number one responsibility is to our clients.
Scott Insurance is the oldest and largest independent insurance agency west of Richmond.
Scott people make a difference.
The best reason for doing business with Scott Insurance is its people.
West Virginia and Virginia Tech from Lane Stadium today as these two teams renew an old rivalry for the 32nd time here this afternoon. The Virginia Tech Hokies come into this game today with a record of 3 wins and 1 loss. The loss came opening night against Cincinnati's Bearcats, but since then, Stan, the Hokies have come back. They've won 3 straight games and 2 very impressively road wins at Clemson and at Syracuse.
Well, those were big road wins. That's the first time since 1954 they've defeated Clemson, and they did it down in a pit at Clemson. But the opening day loss was a disappointing one for them. They gave up over 350 yards passing. They really shored up that defense, especially the secondary. Since that time, they were young. They have Carter Wiley back as their only returner in that secondary. They've shored it up, and they're playing Virginia Tech defense again.
There's a new quarterback here in Blacksburg. He's Eric Chapman, a red shirt, who's starting this year. Bill Dooley was singing his praises in preseason, and he looks like he can do it all.
Well, he's a great all-around athlete. He played basketball at DeMatha for the legendary Morgan Wooten. He can do it all. Like we said, he can run, he can throw. He's completing 57% of his passes up to this point. He's only got a handful of passes up until this year, as both Cox and Greenwood had thrown all the passes in the past 4 years for Virginia Tech. So he's inexperienced, but he's a good athlete and can throw the ball, so he's doing a good job for him.
When you come to Virginia Tech, though, you think running game. Bill Dooley has made his mark with the tailback offense here in Blacksburg, and Maurice Williams is one of the nation's finest.
Well, he is. He's a good accelerator, a powerful runner. He's 4th all-time. He's our leading rusher this year. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry, which is almost unheard of. West Virginia is having problems stopping the run. They better not have problems stopping the run today, or Virginia Tech might roll up and down the field.
They all alternate, and both are outstanding.
Well, it's amazing. They're both in the top 10 all time, and they've alternated throughout their careers. Eddie Hunter is a more elusive back. He's the shake and bake runner, the type that embarrasses linebackers like me when they get to the open field.
When Chapman goes to the air, he'll look for number 82, Donald Wayne Snell.
Well, he's 5th on the all-time list as a receiver, right behind his cousin, Sidney Snell. So it's been a family reunion here. I'm sure he's down here to watch him break his record, but he's the guy they like to go to when they had to put the ball in the air.
Another big target for Eric Chapman is the tight end, Steve Johnson.
Well, Steve has done a good job. He's a big guy, 6'6", 245 pounds, a good blocker. He's really improved himself, and he's playing regularly for the first time this year, although he had plenty of experience as a backup last year.
Steve Johnson has added 50 pounds to his frame over the past 3 years. He's a dandy. Steve Johnson from Huntsville, Alabama. We mentioned the defenses of these two teams, both West Virginia and Virginia Tech, and the Hokies have given up a lot of yards this year, but not the big play. They'll need to force some turnovers, though, today.
Well, you always need turnovers. They're +6 so far this year, which is good over 4 games. They're doing a good job defensively. And here you see a block punt, which really won the Clemson game. Victor Jones blocked the punt, and Mitch Dove recovered it for a touchdown. They won that game 20-14. Obviously, those 7 points won the game for Virginia Tech.
It's the West Virginia Mountaineers against the Virginia Tech Hokies here today, and we'll be back with more right after these messages from Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. It's year-end clearance time at your Mazda dealers. Time to get a great deal on a Mazda 323 with standard features like a fuel-injected engine, front-wheel drive, 4-wheel independent suspension, and split fold-down rear seats. The 323 is one red-hot value. But now, during clearance time, your Mazda dealer can make it even better. See him today and save. Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
Is there a high-tech gasoline for my high-tech car?
Chevron says yes.
Chevron unleaded with high-tech Techroline, the only choice of all 4 U.S. car makers for their EPA tests.
How about saving money? Chevron says yes.
Chevron has cash discounts, low self-serve prices, and credit card convenience. High-tech gasoline, low self-serve prices.
Don't forget, it's your turn to pick up the kids.
And one service station, have it all. Chevron says yes.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
Oh. You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Whether it's selling grain or livestock or looking after the rural interest in Washington or in the General Assembly in Richmond, Farm Bureau is on the job. A healthy farm economy is a must. Virginia Farm Bureau provides help in commodity and legislative areas and offers a complete line of low-cost, broad insurance coverage across the state. Blue Cross Blue Shield group health insurance rates are available to members of the Virginia Farm Bureau. Call your county Farm Bureau office for more details on one of the best-kept secrets in Virginia, the Virginia Farm Bureau.
Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, the scene today for the 32nd meeting between Virginia Tech and West Virginia. The Mountaineers hold a commanding 21-9-1 advantage in this series. It dates back to 1912, and West Virginia has dominated in recent years. In fact, Don Neyland's Mountaineers have won the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Last year, 24-9 in Morgantown. We talked to the coaches
standing here with Coach Bill Dooley, the head coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Coach, on your present team, there's nobody on the team has defeated West Virginia. Yet earlier this year, you overcame even a greater jinx by beating Clemson for the first time since 1954. Do you think winning that game gives them added confidence that they can overcome this jinx?
Well, you know, each year is different. Again, this is a typical West Virginia football team. They're big, they're strong, they're talented. I think that we have a good ball club. It should be a whale of a football game.
Coach, I read one of the comments by Mark Webb, one of your players, that he didn't think the West Virginia players respected your team as football players. Does that give them added incentive to go out there and earn that respect?
Well, you know, our football players are going to play hard, just as I'm sure as West Virginia's football players will. And it's a big ball game for both ball clubs. And you know, it'll all boil down to the same thing. The team that makes the fewest mistakes and the team that can make things happen is normally the team that wins.
Coach, there's been a lot of problems and distractions, stuff we don't really want to get into, but it seems like despite those problems, or maybe because of those problems, your team has a even greater determination to win.
Well, our football team's played very hard, both against Clemson and against Syracuse, and hopefully we can do the same thing today against West Virginia.
Coach, going into this season, you looked at your defense as being your strong point. Yet you're giving up over 200 yards a game rushing, and you can't afford to do that against Virginia Tech with its great running attack.
No question about it, Stan. We have not played the kind of defense we thought we could play, and yet I still think we have a good defensive football team. You know, we're the kind of football team that needs to slug it out with folks, and we've played all different kind of offenses, and I have a feeling that our defense will play well today. If they don't play well today, I'm going to be surprised.
Okay, your quarterback, Mike Timko, was 5-0 at one point, yet right now he's only completed less than 50% of his passes. Have you been pleased with his progress?
Well, I thought Mike had done a real good job up until the first quarter of the Pitt game last week. I think he could have flew all the way to Morgantown. He was so excited about that football game. But Mike Timko's a winner, and yes, I like him.
Okay, you had some problem with your kicking game earlier. You missed 4 field goals against Maryland. Is Charlie Bauman going to be ready?
Right, Charlie's back, and Charlie's money in the bank. We won't miss 4 today, I guarantee you that.
The two head coaches, Bill Dooley of Virginia Tech and Don Nealon of West Virginia. Now the stage has been set here at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. A capacity crowd filing in. And we'll be back for the kickoff of today's game between West Virginia and Virginia Tech in just a moment.
Buying a used car can be quite a gamble. You're never sure what you'll end up with. National Car Rental's used cars are cream puffs, averaging just over a year old. We keep our cars in top condition. Each comes with our exclusive 2-year, 24,000-mile limited warranty covering every major system. Don't gamble with luck. Get a sweet deal from National. Check the phone book for the National Car Rental location near you.
Cards of your favorite NFL stars.
Oh, like him?
Every kickoff payoff card is a winner. Win great McDonald's food prizes.
Winning cards must be redeemed by the following week.
So hurry into McDonald's.
New winners every week at McDonald's.
Collect your favorite Washington Redskins and win great food prizes, too. Play NFL kickoff payoff at any participating McDonald's.
If you think physical fitness can help you get ahead in business, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal and see what mental fitness can do.
Call 800-336-1111 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.50 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.50. Phone 800-336-1111 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Bob Rathman, Stan White back with you at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. The weather conditions here in Blacksburg today, we had a beautiful morning with warm temperatures. Some clouds rolling in now, 79 degrees. The humidity's up there at 69%, and that wind always a factor here in Blacksburg.
Well, Bob, I always think the wind is the most important factor in any football game, more than rain, more than snow, more than temperature, because the wind affects the passing game. You can throw with a wet ball because they put dry ones in after each play, but the wind, there's nothing you can do about it. It really affects you both going with the wind and against the wind.
West Virginia won the toss. They passed on their option until the second half. So that, of course, left it up to the Hokies. Virginia Tech says they want the football. They will kick off. No, they will kick off and defend the south goal. So West Virginia will get it to start off the game. William McDonald is the referee today. Ernie Cage is the umpire. Joe Reckwine, the head linesman. Ernest Benson, the line judge. Daniel Post, John Daniels, and Ronald Huggins are officiating crew here in Blacksburg today. Is a quick start a big key for West Virginia, Stan?
Well, after last week's game, it is, because they had to be demoralized getting blown out by Pittsburgh. They got to get their confidence back. Virginia Tech has been a real fast-starting team this year. They've been jumping on people. If they jump on West Virginia today, it may destroy any confidence they have left.
There you see the deep man for West Virginia, Darren Fulton. Just over 21 yards per return. Chris Kinzer, number 4, getting set to kick things off for the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Everybody up for the kickoff at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. crosswind, as Stan mentioned here. Kinzer with a good boot into the end zone. And it is down there by Fulton. So Darren elects to down into the end zone, and the Mountaineers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The quarterback of the West Virginia Mountaineers is Mike Timko. He's a junior, 6'2", 191 pounds. And Don Nealon admitted to us last night, an off week last week, and he's looking for Timko to bounce back.
Well, he has to bounce back. He started off 1 for 10 against Pittsburgh. If he does that today, they'll be looking uphill all afternoon.
The man in motion is Pecan. And incomplete, intended for Holyfield. Good pressure by Virginia Tech.
Well, they wanted to go to a quick, easy, short pass, but the linebacker read it, got in front of the receiver. You can see it made Timko pull the ball down. He's lucky he didn't get sacked.
Here are the backs for West Virginia. Timko at quarterback, Pecan the fullback, Holyfield at tail, Harvey Smith and John Talley the receivers. And that big offensive line, rather inexperienced. Phillips is starting today at the left tackle spot in replace of Milton Redwine. 2nd down, and Timko hands off. Holyfield to the 23-yard line, 3rd and long. That Hokie defense has been there on 2 consecutive plays, and here's how they line up with Talifaro and Roane the end, Singleton, Mark Webb, an outstanding nose guard. The backers and the secondary, Nelson and Agemy, both playing very well this year. And in that secondary, the veteran back there is Carter Wiley, number 36, a key man. 3rd down and 7 for West Virginia from their own 23. Timko looking deep for Smith and way over his head and out of bounds. So Timko misfires on 2 passes on the opening series, and West Virginia's going to be forced to punt. Mitch Dove covering on that last play for the Hokies.
Well, he was wide open. He could have hit him a lot earlier, but he got set up slowly. And by the time he had to throw, that's a long pass all the way to the sideline. You have to take into effect not only how far downfield, but how far cross field he had to throw it. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to complete it.
Lance Carrion is the punter, and 22 Myron Richardson back deep for the Hokies. Line drive. It's going to roll out of bounds in front of the Tech bench at the Virginia Tech 42-yard line.
That's great field position. That's the advantage to win plays. Not only do you get to choose the second half, but it's a short punt. You get the ball at the 42.5-yard line to start your offense. You couldn't ask for more. You got everything going for you, the wind and good field position.
A 35-yard punt, and Eric Chapman getting good field position to start this Virginia Tech drive. Everett is the man in motion. Maurice Williams straight ahead up to the 47-yard line. Here's the offensive backs for Virginia Tech with Chapman at quarter, Sean Donnelly at fullback, and Maurice Williams. You'll also see number 45, Eddie Hunter, in the game quite often at tailback for Virginia Tech. The offensive line, Jim Davey at that right tackle spot, very aggressive player. There's Chapman. It's 2nd down and 5 from the 47. Pitch to Williams. And into West Virginia territory at the 49-yard line. David Grant, number 98, coming over to lead the West Virginia defensive charge.
That brings us up to about a 3rd down and 1, the first short yardage play for Virginia Tech today. And I imagine they're going to go right back to Maurice Williams. He's their power back.
The defensive line, 3 good ones there. And the linebacking crew is also outstanding, led by Matt Smith. The secondary has had its problems with injuries the last couple of weeks. Stacy Smith and Larry Holly, the leaders back there, along with Travis Curtis. 3rd and 1 for Tech at the West Virginia 48. It's the fullback. And Donnelly, did they get the first down? Tech says yes. West Virginia says no.
It's going to be very close. Where they're marking it, looks like it's just short of a first down, but it's going to be a few inches either way. Again, they try to surprise by giving to the fullback real quick up the middle. West Virginia's big front, they average about 280 pounds. They're 3 down linemen. They expected a lot more out of them this year than they've gotten so far. But in short yardage, that's where you can usually use that big physical specimens that they have on the defensive line.
So they stretch out the chains. Not enough. It'll be 4th down and not far for Virginia Tech, and the crowd here at Blacksburg wants Bill Dooley and the Hokies to go for it.
Well, you know Dooley's problems here. He doesn't have anything to lose at this point. I mean, they've already told him they may not want him back to coach, so he might as well go for it.
And go for it they will.
With that running attack, you'd have to think they should have a lot of confidence to be able to go a few inches on 4th down. And they're not really gambling. They're already in West Virginia's territory, and they got the wind behind them.
Fourth and inches. Some movement in that line and penalty flags.
Looks like an offensive lineman moved, so they're going to have to punt the ball now.
It was Singleton, the left guard, who flinched, number 77. Now it's going to be 4th down and 5+. You see the movement there by Singleton, and that costs the Hokies 5 yards. So now they will punt the football, and it's going to be Tony Romero to punt it away. They've made a change in punters here. There you see Romero, number 12. Eddie Neal went down with an ankle injury a couple of weeks ago, so Romero is the new punter.
Well, losing Neal cost them 2 players. There's also their starting strong safety, so that was a serious injury for Virginia Tech.
Here's the punt. Smith watches it go out of bounds, and let's see where they mark it. It'll be at the 13-yard line.
That's
so Romero doing a nice job.
Good punt. That puts him back in the hole again, going into the wind. That gives him a chance to get good field position the next time there's an exchange of punts. The defense right now, when you get him inside the 20, you always have goals to start the season. One of them, never let him outside the 20-yard line if you have him backed up. Don't give him a first down because you have him down there in a situation where they can't gamble. So play the running game tough and make them punt backed up.
A 40-yard punt by Romero. Well, West Virginia comes up, and Mike Timko. Man in motion is Grantis Bell. Olifield, big hole. Out to the 20.
Good hit by Carter Wiley. He came up. He used to be an outside linebacker, and he came up and made a hit like an outside linebacker on that play.
John Holyfield, who's averaging just about 5 yards a carry this year with a nice run.
You see Carter Wiley coming up. He hits him, hits his helmet right in between the numbers, just like a linebacker would do. He's been exceptional for them in the defensive backfield.
2nd and 3, and again it is Holyfield. Close to a first down. Paul Nelson, who's leading the Tech defenders and tackles this year, with the tackle that time. And it's a first down for the West Virginia Mountaineers. No score, 12-13 left to play here. First quarter from Blacksburg. Holyfield's rushed the ball 3 times for 13 yards here in the opening moments of this game. Chris Picard in motion, and off to Holyfield. Can he get around the corner? No. Nice tackle out of the secondary, and coming up to make that hit was Mitch Dove, number 23.
Well, fullback made a nice block on the strong safety, which allowed him to get around the corner. He got 6 or 7 yards. As you said, Pecan came in motion, and he blocked Sean Lucas, got him down. Otherwise, they had to play all stacked up. It would have been a loss, but that good block by Donnelly allowed him to get 6, 7 yards.
Holyfield out of the game for West Virginia. Pecan again in motion, and the handoff is to Undra Johnson, who replaces Holyfield at the running back spot. Paul Nelson coming over to help out for Virginia Tech.
Well, West Virginia is going to their game plan. They're running the ball right down the throat of Virginia Tech, which you wouldn't expect them to do. Virginia Tech's always been a great rushing defense. They led the nation 82-83, were second in 84, were even 12th last year, but they've really gone away from that. They've given up 170-some yards a game rushing this year.
Timko to pass. Over the middle, intercepted. Billy Myers picks it off. His first interception of the year. Timko intercepted.
Just another overthrow. They were throwing for Undra Johnson. He was open again. They wanted to go to the quick pass again, taken away. Makes him pull it down. You can see he throws it right over Undra Johnson's head. He's open on the play, but Billy Myers sees the overthrow, steps in front of it, and makes a big interception. Again, good field position for Virginia Tech, and again about the 43-yard line.
First and 10 for Virginia Tech. Chapman has a man in motion. That's his wingback Everett. Chapman to the air. Plenty of time. Off the hands. No catch. Incomplete at the West Virginia 46. That was the tight end Steve Johnson trying to haul it in. Stacy Smith over to defend.
Well, they went to play action on first down, hoping to keep the linebackers up, respecting the running game, and hit Johnson crossing behind him. Again, he was open, but the pass was just a little beyond his outstretched hands. He almost came up with a good catch.
Chapman has passed for 744 yards and 4 touchdowns in 4 games, completing 54% of his passes. Richardson in motion. Here's the reverse. Richardson. And the freshman from Richmond, Virginia, moves it over the Tech 45 to the 47-yard line. Again, it's Stacy Smith to come over to make the tackle for the Mountaineers.
Well, you see Virginia Tech using a lot of motion. You try to get the defense to shift with the motion. They shift and shift and shift, and you come back with the reverse to catch him in that shift. Just a little slow developing that time. If he could have come around just a step quicker, they wouldn't have had the pursuit to be able to tackle him. The hole was there, but it took too long to develop.
Johnson comes wide to the near side. 82 Snell wide to the far side. The wing back there in the slot is Everett. Chapman may be changing the play at the line here. Gets away for some pressure. Wants to throw. Down the sideline, wide open is Snell, and he's going to go for a touchdown. But there's a penalty flag back at midfield.
Yeah, he was over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. They're going to bring that back. He pumped too many times. If he'd have thrown after the first pump, he was still behind the line. But after the second pump, he passed the line of scrimmage.
Stan, what I think happened on that play, as Chapman was rolling out, he was a little confused. He thought that the first down marker, which would mark the next first down, was the line of scrimmage line.
You see, if he had thrown that the marker, but when he brought the ball down, he was in front of the line of scrimmage, which is an illegal forward pass. You have to be behind the line. That takes 6 points off the board.
That didn't count.
Yeah, it sure did. It was a good. He went to the rollout. They had a blitz on, a strong safety blitz by West Virginia. And they picked it up with the rollout. He could have run for a first down, but he saw the man wide open, threw the pass for a touchdown. Unfortunately, not only that is a penalty, but it's a loss of down.
Illegal pass thrown beyond the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. Loss of down on the offense. It is now 4th down.
So not only do you lose a touchdown, 6 points, but you lose the football too, because now you got to punt it away.
Bill McDonald, the referee, with a call. So now Tech will punt. 1 punt for Romero today for 40 yards. This is his second try. And here comes the punt. Harvey Smith at the 15. Wrapped up. Boy, the Hokies did a great job getting downfield that time. Bobby Martin leading the charge. So West Virginia will take over on offense. There's no score in Blacksburg. We'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
All these IRAs are the same.
Did you know you could open a Jefferson Pilot IRA?
Oh, yeah?
You get high-yield, tax-sheltered interest, and you can deduct your contributions from your taxable income.
Same with these IRAs. What's the difference?
Unlike those IRAs, this IRA can guarantee you an income for as long as you live.
You mean these don't?
Nope.
Oh, yeah?
Ask about a Jefferson Pilot IRA, the IRA with a difference.
This Bud's for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
While we've got a moment, we'd like to remind you that the announcers for this game have been contracted for and approved by West Virginia University and the Virginia Tech Athletic Associations. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of West Virginia University, the Virginia Tech Athletic Association, and Creative Sports Marketing is prohibited. Don Nealon, the West Virginia head coach, in his 7th year, 50 wins. He needs 8 to tie Pappy Lewis's all-time Mountaineer record. His offense on the field, and Timko hands off, and it's Hollyfield looking for yardage along that line of scrimmage and moving it out to about the 13-yard line.
Bob, if you take a look at West Virginia when they line up, look for a big gap between their offensive linemen. That's where they try to spread out the defense, give them bigger blocking holes, and slip Holyfield through. If you see that big gap, that's almost for sure where the offensive running play is designed to go.
Undra Johnson's carried it twice for 8 yards. Timko at quarterback, twin wide receivers for West Virginia. The pitch to Johnson. Made something out of nothing and got it to the 16-yard line.
Well, they went to the short side of the field. You don't have a lot of room to work. And Curtis Talifero played it well for Virginia Tech. I think he's their best defensive player, notwithstanding Carter Wiley. He's just a great athlete. He runs a 4.6 40, has a 39-inch vertical jump. And you look at the statistics, he has one or more of everything. Sacks, interceptions, hurries, pass broken up.
3rd down and 4 for West Virginia. Here's the pitch to Craig Taylor. 1st down, Mountaineers. Just over the 20 at the 21-yard line.
There's a penalty flag out of bounds. Somebody hit the man out of bounds. We're going to have 15 more tacked onto him. It looked like Morgan Roane may have hit him while he was down.
Take another look at the pitch. Craig Taylor, a redshirt sophomore from Linden, New Jersey. And the flag, as you mentioned, Stan, comes after the play goes out of bounds.
Well, it happens after this. We don't see it at the end of our replay, but I think it's on Morgan Roane.
Personal foul against Virginia Tech. So they'll tack it on to the gain by Craig Taylor.
You can usually tell the guy that's walking back with his head down is usually the guy that they called the penalty on. And Morgan Roane is looking at his shoelaces at this point.
Now, what would Woody Hayes say in a situation?
I probably wouldn't say anything. He'd probably just
dead ball foul.
a good whack.
Late hit, out of bounds on the defense. 1st down.
The penalty moves the ball out to the 37-yard line. 1st down and 10 for West Virginia. It's the 3rd penalty against Tech for 25 yards. Timko with the inside handoff. And nothing there. Up the middle for Johnson. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. The Tech defense has not given up the big play this year, Stan, although they have given up quite a few yards. No one's really been able to beat them for the long play.
Well, you lose ball games and you win ball games on big plays. So if you give up yards but not big plays, you can stay in every game.
Johnson. Penalty flag. Out to the 43. Mark Webb with the tackle. Let's see what the preliminary indication here is. And it's going to be holding against West Virginia.
That's what you don't need if you're West Virginia. Obviously, they've had problems throwing the ball. If they were able to run the ball down the field, they've been successful. But when you're running the ball, you have to be mistake-proof. You can't fumble a snap and lose a play. You can't have a penalty because you can't get 20 yards running the ball 3 times unless you happen to break one. All you got to do is complete 1 or 2 passes.
During the run, repeat the down after a 10-yard penalty.
To be able to get a 1st down throwing the ball. So this hurts a running game, especially when you're going into that wind, and they've already shown it's been tough for Timko to throw into that wind.
2nd and 18. You saw Pat Watson talking to his offensive lineman there on the Tech bench. Timko hands off to Johnson, tackled and shy of the 30, back at the 27. Rick Singleton came over and made the tackle.
That's that eye draw play. They try to make you think pass and sneak the back up the middle, but Singleton read it well and made the tackle in the backfield. So now it's going to be 3rd down and about 20 to go.
Johnson lost a couple of yards, so now it is 3rd down and 20 for West Virginia.
I'll let you make this play call, Bob. Defensively, I was looking for interceptions on a play like this. As a linebacker, I'd get back deep and try to intercept one to the wide receiver in the lanes.
Timko is 0 for 3 passing the football today. Rolling, looking, under pressure, sacked at the 23. Morgan Roane, number 89, led the way.
Well, they have to do that. That's Morgan Roane's 1st sack of the season. He had 11 last year. He was all south last year, but he hasn't played up to it this year. In fact, they only had 3 sacks. 3 sacks as a defense going in. Bruce Smith used to have that many a game.
So Morgan Roane with the big play. And now the punt by West Virginia. Antonio Romero angling away. It's going to hit and go out of bounds at the Tech 38-yard line. Billy Myers, number 13, there to cover for Virginia Tech.
Romero must have something on that ball. is bouncing directly right. Got a Virginia Tech player down and injured.
Hokie injured on the play, and that is Mitch Dove, the cornerback. 6 minutes and 28 seconds remaining.
Number 23, Mitch Dove, taken up by the play.
Tech nothing and West Virginia nothing. We'll be right back in Blacksburg after this.
Reed Lumber Company in Christiansburg is the complete home construction center. Our friendly staff can help you with almost any construction need, and we're extensively stocked for the do-it-yourselfer with quality tools, plumbing and electrical supplies, paints, hardware, and one of the best selections of lumber and paneling in Southwest Virginia. We build custom trusses and offer prompt on-site delivery within 50 miles. So for all your construction needs, come to Reed Lumber Company, 195 Sullivan Street, Christiansburg.
Only the next 75 buyers can get the buy of a lifetime on an 86 Chevy or Cadillac at Vaughn's in Lynchburg. Get big year-end discounts that can save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars, plus factory cash rebates up to $1,500 or the lowest finance rates in history, as low as 2.9 APR. New Chevys and Cadillacs will never be priced this low again, so they must be limited to the next 75 buyers only. Hurry in today and get the buy of a lifetime at Vaughn Chevrolet and Cadillac in Lynchburg.
This is your hometown station, WDBJ 7.
Virginia Tech, West Virginia, no score, first quarter at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. The Hokies trying to end a 5-year losing streak against Don Nayland's West Virginia team. And talk about going from the frying pan to the fire. Here's Mitch Dove coming out of the game, and this injury looks serious, and they've already lost Eddie Neal out of that secondary, so this would be a big blow for Bill Dooley's team.
Well, we said they started slow in the secondary, giving up 350 yards against Cincinnati. They got some people playing. They got some continuity. They lost Neal, and Sean Lucas came in and did a good job. But you can't afford to lose too many. You can't afford to lose your continuity, especially in the secondary, because they have to all work together to make a pass defense work. If they lose him and have to put a freshman in, which is a backup, they're really going to be hurting in that secondary.
Of course, that was a problem with West Virginia last week at Pittsburgh. One of the reasons John Cangemi had sympathy for them. Virginia Tech with it, first down and 10.
Well, Virginia Tech needs to get a score in this first quarter. They've had every time they had the ball. They started around the 40-yard line. Each time they've got
complete to Steve Johnson, and he drops it inside West Virginia territory at the 48, right off his fingertips.
Well, he got some help dropping that. Stacy Smith came in and put a real hit on him, knocked the ball loose. And Stacy Smith is a good cornerback. He's played well. He was a freshman All-American, and on that play, he showed you why. He's one of the leaders in their secondary.
Well, the wind is really whipping up here at the stadium. It'll be a factor all afternoon. 3rd and 7. Everett in motion. Makes the 180-degree turn. Chapman rolling. Incomplete. Intended for Donnie Dwayne Snell on the far side. And defending 41, Dave Lockwood.
Well, that's what I mean about the wind, Bob. It doesn't matter which way you're going, into the wind or with the wind. It's difficult to throw the football. It goes too far when you're with the wind. It doesn't go far enough when you're going into the wind, and sometimes you overcompensate, sometimes you undercompensate. We already saw an overcompensation, which ended up in an interception for Virginia Tech. They got to be able to start completing some passes because they're going to start stacking again.
25 at the 24-yard line.
Flipping penalty during the run, 15 yards, repeat the down.
The question was it during the run? If it had been after the play was over, it would have been the penalty and the down they would have lost. And it was very close. It was a very late flag, so they gave them the benefit of the doubt of when the penalty was called.
So it will be first down and 22 for West Virginia. Timko looks for Hollyfield, and Hollyfield can't hang on at the 32-yard line. Him in a bad spot.
Right in the hands, as they used to say, in the bad spot. It was the same play they completed earlier to Grantis Bell, but this time they went to Hollyfield right in the slot. The linebacker couldn't quite get out there quick enough. He's got to be a little bit quicker to get out to that play because they got the strong safety right in between the man on the sideline and the man that's hooking up right about the hash mark. The linebacker's got to get out there to help him on that inside man.
Timko 1 for 5 in the air. It's 2nd and 22. Incomplete. Don Nealon can't believe it. Oh, you saw Don come right over to the linesman to argue the call, but incomplete.
Well, Harvey Smith was so intense about getting his feet in bounds that he forgot the first thing, the most basic thing, and that's catching the football. He's got it down. You can see it coming out. He never had the ball, and from where Don Nealon was, he couldn't tell that the ball had popped out.
Yeah, Don, I think, was thinking that they had ruled him out of bounds and not the juggled catch.
Right. He didn't realize the ball had come out when he tried to catch the ball and keep his feet in bounds.
Smith now in motion. Timko with pressure from Morgan Roane. More pressure. He escapes. Agemy hits him. And Timko finally down to the 32-yard line.
Well, Timko showed he could run the ball a little bit, too. 8-9 yards on that. And I used to hate to have to try to tackle a quarterback because they run different than running backs. They stop. They go all different directions. They have different types of moves. You can see he breaks 3-4 tackles. Watch Talaferro miss him right there. He put him down to his knees. As a linebacker, that's embarrassing.
Lance Carrion and a booming kick. Billy Myers takes it over his shoulder at the 13. Oh, you can hear the leather popping all the way up here in the booth.
Perfect kick into the wind, low and tight spiraled. That puts them back inside the 20. The first time they haven't gotten good in field position.
3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. There is no score. West Virginia and Virginia Tech will return to Lane Stadium right after these words.
Farmers in 88 county organizations is the largest general farm organization in the state. With a membership in Farm Bureau, a person can buy needed products and services like tires and batteries, insurance for auto, property, and life, health insurance at group rates, and many, many other services. At Farm Bureau, we're interested in the healthy farm economy because a healthy farm economy means an abundance of quality food for you.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. Your Mazda dealer here in Clarence is sparking some great deals on everything, including the front-wheel drive Mazda 626 with 5-speed independent rear suspension, fuel-injected engine, and split fold-down rear seats, all standard. It's already a great family car value, but during your Mazda dealer's clearance, the deals are really hot. So hurry, see him today.
Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining, first quarter. The pride of West Virginia. They'll be performing here at halftime.
That was a great punt, Bob. 55 yards into the wind. Most importantly, he made it. He made Billy Myers catch the ball running away from the coverage. He only returned it 4 yards. That's 51 net yards.
Eddie Hunter, the fake to Hunter. Chapman to throw. Floats it out to Donnelly. Complete at the 35. Donnelly taken out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Sean Donnelly, a redshirt junior from Fairfax, making his first catch of the day. Matt Smith ran him out of bounds.
The lack of pressure by West Virginia is what made that play a success. Nobody was open. The fullback Donnelly snuck out. He was well covered. But you give anybody this much time to throw, the fullback eventually is going to find an open spot as he beats Matt Smith, their All-American linebacker. But you give a back that much time on any linebacker, they're going to get open.
24-yard pass play from Chapman to Donnelly. First and 10 at the Tech 42. Eddie Hunter. Boy, he hit that hole quickly.
Well, he's the elusive back. He's the man that can make the moves, make the big play. Both backs really can, but he's the guy that can make you miss, can embarrass you, as we talked about earlier. I think he'd much rather play against a guy that may run over you than would embarrass you.
Eddie Hunter and Maurice Williams, Stan, have combined in their Tech careers for 4,300 yards.
That's a lot of yards. They'd be number one all time, that's for sure, if either of them got to play individually.
Everett in motion. Here's Hunter again. Gets outside quickly. Stacy Smith takes him out of bounds, but in West Virginia territory at the 42.
That's what we mean about his elusiveness. That play was designed to go right up the middle of linebacker isolation. They put big Ernie Jones in at fullback to block, and he runs. Watch Ernie Jones come up, hits the linebacker, knocks him down, but everybody else was coming to the middle for the play, and Hunter just bounced outside. That's what that speed and quickness can do.
A gain of 9 yards on the carry by
Eddie Hunter picks up 9. Now Tech has it 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 42. Richardson, the man in motion. Chapman to throw. Complete at the West Virginia 27-yard line. Randy Jamison making the grab.
It's the first time we've seen or heard of Jamison today, but now they got a drive going. It's just a curl pattern. He comes down, stops, obviously in the open zone between the linebackers. Open, you can do it.
Chapman 2 out of 5 for 39 yards now. Hand off to Maurice Williams, and he gets through the hole quickly, keeps his feet, and grinds it to the 15-yard line.
Well, that's the advantage of going in motion every play. You get the safeties moving one direction. When Williams cuts back, it gives him an extra step or two to make that cutback. So you see the safeties adjusting as they go in motion. Now he's got to come back all the way. That's the corner. The safety's the man that never got to him right there, Travis Curtis. Now keep those people moving on defense so they don't get a good start on you.
12-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 15. More motion with Richardson. And it is Hunter to the 13. One of the key, Stan, has got to be that Virginia Tech offensive line. Doing a nice job protecting Chapman.
Well, so far they have. They have most of the year. But a lot of it's due to the lack of pass rush by West Virginia. I mean, they got big guys, 280-pound guys. And I guess they don't have the mobility or the agility to get to the passer. They don't have a lot of career sacks. They don't have a lot of sacks this year. If you give anybody that much time, you're going to be in trouble. That's not what happened against Pitt last week.
2nd and 8. Chapman pressured inside. Hunt gets through. Big number 70. And they also brought Larry Holly up for some pressure, the strong safety man.
Strong safety blitz. They had the rollout call, but this time the halfback didn't pick up the strong safety like he did earlier. You watch him, he goes right by the strong safety. He has to make that block. He has to cut him down, or either Chapman's got to throw the ball quickly. A big play for West Virginia, backs him up.
And the Hokies have taken a timeout here. 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And Virginia Tech elects to stop the clock. They'll have a 3rd down and 17 with the ball back at the 22. So Bill Dooley talking it over here with his coaches upstairs and also his quarterback, number 16, Eric Chapman.
We wonder if West Virginia was able to get something from the film, that they knew that they were going to go to that rollout in that situation. That's a perfect defense to have, a strong safety blitz into the rollout, because you bring an extra man to stop that quarterback rolling around the strong side. So maybe they saw something in the films. They come to that formation, let's go to the strong safety blitz, especially when they get down near the goal line, because that play gives you an option for the quarterback to run or throw the ball. Perfect defense. It was either a lucky call or they're able to gather something from the films.
So Bill Dooley has made his play selection.
I don't know. What do you call on 3rd and 20? I guess it's only 3rd and 17.
3rd and 17.
That's a lot easier.
They have to get to the 5 for the 1st and goal.
That's probably another rollout. There it is.
Chapman looking over the middle. Complete. Everett inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. Wilson came over to make the tackle. It's going to be 4th down and about 2.
Got some people down. They made some good hits.
Wilson is the injured West Virginia Mountaineer.
Number 89, Rodney Wilson, for the Mountaineers, has been shaken up on the play.
It's going in motion. Again, that's the rollout. Just the play they had called before, but this time they try to sneak the wing back across the field. He's wide open. You see he had 4 or 5 yards, but a good hit to stop him about 2 yards short of the first down, and Kinzer's in to try to go for his 12th straight field goal. But Rodney Wilson is still down. Looks like a shoulder injury.
And it looked like on the replay that Everett's head right on Wilson's shoulder.
Right on that AC joint. That'll give you a shoulder separation.
I think we're going to take another look here at the end of the play, and you'll see Everett as he lunges across the 10-yard line, and it looks like his head connects with Wilson's shoulder. Let's see.
You see him cutting across the field against the grain on the rollout. There's the hit right there. He stuck his shoulder in. It really looked like Everett got the worst of the hit.
It did.
But Wilson is still down, and Everett is up standing on the sideline.
You're looking at Chris Kinzer, who is the Virginia Tech place kicker and leads the NCAA with 11 field goals and 13 tries.
Well, he has 43 points. He's the leading kick scorer in the country. He also leads in the average number of field goals per game, just a little under 3 field goals a game. He missed his first 2 of the season, which may have cost him that Cincinnati game, but he's come back with 11 in a row.
There you see Bill Dooley, the head coach of the Hokies. To his left is assistant coach Jim Tate, longtime veteran coach. And on the other side of the field, Don Nealon and his West Virginia staff.
Listen for the announcement of the player of the game, late in the game, sponsored by Miller Lite.
There is Rodney Wilson, the freshman from Washington, D.C., played at Woodson High School.
He's up, but he does not look good. He's still holding that shoulder in. They're going to allow him to get off the field.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought Everett really took a shot, but he bounced right up.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Us defensive players, you think we got the blow, but we're the guy that's rolling over in pain.
So Kinzer is on to kick here for Virginia Tech and try to add 3 points here and break this scoreless deadlock. This will be a 24-yard attempt for Kinzer. Well, this is a chip shot for Chris. The way he's been kicking, he's connected on 11 consecutive field goals.
Don't jinx him.
No jinx. Right through the uprights. Good, Mr. White. 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Well,
and the Hokies break out on top 3-2-0.
At least they got some points with the wind behind them. It's only 3, but they were really in danger of not using that to their advantage at all. They had the ball 4 times and only got 3 points despite good field position. In fact, that was their worst field position they got points out of.
It's interesting to note that's the 20th time in 5 games that Virginia Tech has penetrated the opponent's 20-yard line. 18 of those times they have scored either a touchdown or a field goal.
And that's right. I think it's about even, 9-9, 9 touchdowns, 9 field goals up going into this game. That's a great percentage of scoring. When you get down there, you got to be able to put points on the board. It's very demoralizing. That's what happened to West Virginia against Maryland. They went up and down the field and missed 4 field goals. The offense is saying, hey, we're doing all this work, we're getting no points. Maryland's saying, hey, we're getting hurt, but we're not getting hurt on the scoreboard. We don't have anything to worry about. They can't hurt us. All we got to do is keep them out of the end zone. Let them move the ball, let them try field goals, but if they can't score, it doesn't matter.
So Kinzer now will kick off. Only 8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Virginia Tech on top 3-0, and it also points to the fact about that West Virginia stat. They've scored only 3 points in the first quarter in 5 games.
As I say, they're slow starts, and I think Virginia Tech has scored 37 points in the first quarter so far this season.
So that ties the record for Virginia Tech and Chris Kinzer. Don Wade and Kinzer now share the mark. With that wind, that is a live ball, and West Virginia must return. And they can only get it back to the 10-yard line. Boy, that wind really aided that kick by Kinzer. Back 5-yard deeps into the end zone.
It's not too smart even trying to catch the ball. Why not just let it hit and go out of the end zone?
Looked like it was a knuckleball coming at it.
Well, you know you're going with the wind. That was the advantage of scoring at the end of the first quarter. You kick off with the wind. But why try to catch the ball? You're 5 yards deep in the end zone. That's what could happen is what happened. Murphy's Law hit him. It hit off his chest and came back out to the field to play. If you let it go, the ball goes through the end zone. You get it on the 20. Now they got to start the 10-yard line.
Last play of the quarter, Chris Pecan getting a couple of tough yards, moving it out to about the 13-yard line. That is the end of the first quarter here in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Lane Stadium. The teams trot down to the other end of the field to exchange. With the score, Virginia Tech 3 and West Virginia nothing. We'll be back right after this.
You've been good to me. Oh, magic lady, for all you do, I'll give my best in return to you. The magic's here and the magic's in me. You're a magic lady to me.
Ultra has arrived. Super Socks Ultra by SAI. America's premier sports sock. Double-layered memory retention cushions made from the finest DuPont fibers, Lycra, and high-bulk Orlon. Super Socks Ultra, engineered for peak performance.
A 24-yard field goal by Chris Kinzer. And the Mountaineer fans and their ball club trailing by 3 here as we start the second quarter of play. It's going to be second down at 6 for West Virginia. Take a look at the first quarter statistics. Fairly even in yards, but Tech has...
Well, the 54 yards passing all came on that last drive, and that's the difference in the game at this point, the successful passing attack.
Holyfield to the 19.
We'll see if Timko will be able to throw with the wind now that they have it at their back. Chapman at first couldn't adjust to the wind being behind him, but on that last drive, he made a couple of good throws with the wind. He probably adjusted, saw that he was overthrowing the ball, and threw the ball a little bit tighter spiral, a little bit lower.
But Timko has led West Virginia to that outstanding come from behind win down at East Carolina by throwing the football. 3rd and 3. Tip pass, incomplete, nearly intercepted at the 20-yard line. Mark Webb, number 76, was the man who deflected the pass at the line of scrimmage for the Hokies.
Well, we saw in warm-ups that West Virginia was going with three wide receivers a lot. They had 3 wide receivers. They took their tight end out of the game, Gary Basil, who hasn't caught a pass all year. So I guess it's a good strategy to take him out of the game on a passing situation.
A punt coming up for West Virginia. Lance Carrion with the punt. Myers at the 36.
Virginia Tech tried to block that punt. They've already blocked 3 this year, which ties the school record. They had all 10 men up at the line of scrimmage, Billy Myers being the only person that wasn't on the line. They came close to blocking that one. They feel they can get a punt. The last 3 home games, as a matter of fact, they've played, they have blocked a punt going back to last year.
So once again, Virginia Tech with outstanding field position here at their own 43-yard line. 3-0 Hokies lead with 14-14 to go in the first half. Eric Chapman is the Virginia Tech quarterback. And a pitch to Eddie Hunter. And he'll move it up to the 46 before Chris Parker came up to nail him for West Virginia.
Stacy Smith made a good play. They used Everett to crack back on the outside linebacker. And he called what's called replacement. When your man cracks back or blocks the man you have, the man you're covering, then you have to come up and take the man that gets blocked on spot. Smith came up, turned the play in, and allowed the pursuit to hold it down to a short gain.
Steve Johnson wide to the near side. Richardson is the man in the slot for the Hokies. Hunter now forms the I behind the fullback, Ernie Jones. And Hunter gets the carry. Nothing doing that time. To the 47-yard line, a 1-yard pickup. Jeff Casto, a senior, has a couple of sacks to his credit this year.
Well, he did what a good linebacker does on I formation. He waits. He doesn't overrun the play. Watch him right there. He stays behind the ball carrier. That's the problem with I formations. They're back so deep they can cut back. They get you moving as a linebacker, overrun the play, and then cut back to your hole. Castro played that well. They probably practiced that all week long.
3rd and 6. Chapman has time. Finds Johnson at the 37 and a first at the 43-yard line for West Virginia, and that's going to be A first down. Pickett making the tackle.
It was like an audible. He rolled one way. Again, a throwback away from the roll. He rolls to his left. Johnson just came down and found the open spot. There's nobody even close to him. You got to play people a little bit closer when you only have 4 or 5 yards to go for a first down.
That is the 16th catch this year for Steve Johnson. He averages just about 11 yards per grab. First and 10 at the West Virginia 43-yard line. Eddie Hunter. Feet went out from under him as he tried to put on the brakes, but he got over the 40 to the 39.
Well, again, they tried the same play they had tried earlier. This time, instead of sending a man in motion to crack back and get that quick replacement by the corner, he just cracked back on the snap. The corner didn't come up quite as quick, and they were able to get 4 yards on the play. And you want to get at least 4 yards on first down if you're an offense. On defense, you don't want to give up any more than 3. You want to keep them in a 2nd and 7+. You feel you've won first down defensively if it's more than 7 yards to go on 2nd down.
This one's 2nd and 6. Everett in motion. Hunter. First down at the 28-yard line of West Virginia.
That's a good 10-yard run. Usually Maurice Williams is a man they like to run right up the middle. Hunter's the man that likes to go around the end, but he hits the hole. Another isolation play. Good block on the linebacker by the fullback on that play. That really sprung him loose. Donnelly's is doing well as a blocker. They had Ernie Jones in there earlier, and he did well too.
10-yard gain. Here's the pitch. This is Maurice Williams. Spins away from the tackler and moves it to the 21. Before a strong safety man, Larry Holly, came up to apply the hit.
Well, they're just, if they can rip off 6 and 7 yards of play, they're going to wear West Virginia down. As we said, they're giving up over 200 yards a game rushing, which is surprising with all the beef they have on that front line.
You see that stat on Maurice, but more impressive is the fact that he averages over 7 yards a carry.
And he plays half the time.
2nd and 3. That's the fullback, Sean Donnelly, with a rare carry. That fullback does a lot of the tough work in the Tech offense.
He's like an extra guard in the lineup, but Donnelly can go out and catch the ball, as we saw earlier, as he had a long reception, and he gets that tough yardage, and it gives the tailback a break. Both Hunter and Williams are averaging around 14 carries per game, so that's 28 carries for the tailback, but Donnelly's only averaging around 3 carries a game. So what he does, he carries the ball when the other guys are tired, or they may just give it to him once in a while to keep him satisfied, because if you have to block all the time, you want to treat the guy well.
He'll stretch out the change. It's just an inch shy of that first down.
Now here's where a lot of people would like to go to the play action pass on 3rd down and an inch. Try to get that easy score, because it's tough to get yardage when you get inside the 20. Everything's bunched up. The defense doesn't have to worry about the bombs. Everybody plays close to the line of scrimmage. You run a play action pass here. You try to get the easy score, because you got to feel you can come back and get an inch on 4th down.
Chapman is 4 for 7 in the passing department for 63 yards. Tech leading 3-0. 10:37 to go, 2nd quarter. The Hokies looking to end a 5-year losing streak against West Virginia. The Mountaineers trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss.
And they play Miami of Florida next week, so they don't want to lose this week.
Richardson, the man in motion. Chapman sneaks it straight ahead and gets the first down.
That's what they call the epitome of not gambling. Go with a quarterback sneak on 3rd and a chain link to go. I would love to have been able to call that play, go the play action pass, hit the tight end Johnson in the core of the end zone. You got a good shot of him being wide open on the play. Everybody's up there bunched to stop that running play.
Well, what do you think here now, Coach? 1st and 10.
It's completely different now. You run the ball down the throat. You don't want to take the chance of throwing an incomplete pass and put you in a tough situation. But they do.
Chapman throwing, complete to Williams. Inside the 10. Dives for the first down, but just shy. Was out of bounds just inside the 9-yard line. Larry Holly over there to defend.
Well, at least it worked.
See, you came out of that Ohio State
I guess that's why I'm not coaching, you know. I'd have went for the pass on the play before. But you can see Williams comes out of the backfield, goes in that little short motion, He outflanks the linebacker who can't catch him, and it's tough. If you get a step on a linebacker, if Maurice Williams does, that linebacker's not going to catch him. When he goes in motion, that linebacker's got to get out a little bit wider in his position.
8-yard pass play gain, 2nd and 2, just inside the 9-yard line. Hunter gets the first down, and they'll mark his progress just shy of the 5-yard line. Matt Smith, the All-America linebacker, making the tackle for West Virginia.
Well, that was an example of how quick and how elusive Hunter is. He was caught in the backfield by Donnell Warren, number 54 for West Virginia, but he made a quick sidestep and left him grasping for air and was able to come up with the first down. He was really faced with a loss of a couple of yards by Warren blitzing the gap, but he made a quick move, able to get the first down. And now it's first down on just about the 5-yard line.
Chapman will pitch. Hunter with a throw back to Chapman, complete, but only to the 1-yard line. A little razzle-dazzle for the Hokies inside the 10-yard line.
Well, that ball hung up there so long. If anybody would have smelled that play, they would have been able to pick that off and go down the sideline. Chapman got hung up for one of his own players. You'll see, when the ball is thrown, Chapman doesn't even see the ball. He throws it up in the air. He had run in to one of his own players, number 79, Mike Clapp. That's what stopped it from being a touchdown, because he was scot-free, but he had to wait for that floater to come down. What a pass.
He aged a couple of years waiting for that pass to come down. 2nd down and 1. Goal to go for the Hokies. Hunter. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. The officials have signaled touchdown. Now it's official.
I don't know what they were waiting for.
Now you see the indication there. The Hokies lead 9-0.
Travis Curtis got his helmet off screaming. Well, you can see it's his second little burst. The first one he's hit and stopped. The second little burst, he gets into the end zone.
Chris Kinzer on to kick. He's 10 for 10 with points after touchdowns this year. And the Virginia Tech lead swells by another point. 8 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the second quarter at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. And the Virginia Tech Hokies have added a touchdown run by Eddie Hunter. And now the score, it's Tech 10, West Virginia nothing. We'll be right back.
For peak performance, car makers know that the entire intake system, including this tiny fuel injector, must run clean. That's why, for EPA tests on new cars, Chevron unleaded with high-tech Techroline is the only choice of 1, 2, 3, all 4 major U.S. car makers. Shouldn't it be your choice, too? For high-tech performance, use Chevron unleaded with high-tech Techroline.
Can one service station have it all? Chevron says yes.
Being a Jefferson Standard agent does have its drawbacks.
George, tell me about universal life.
Fortunately, there's nothing we like more than helping you plan for the future.
Would you recommend stocks or mutual funds?
With insurance and a wide range of financial services.
Hey, George, you got a minute to talk about IRAs?
So when you have a question about your future, ask one of our agents about financial services from Jefferson Standard.
Hey, George.
Our business is your future.
Here's the scoring drive for the Hokies. A dozen plays and 57 yards. Eddie Hunter with the touchdown run. Kinzer added the point, and Virginia Tech now leading 10-0. I got to believe, Stan White, this is a key point in the game for West Virginia.
Well, they're already down 10-0. As we said, they can't afford to allow Virginia Tech to get off to too fast a start. They have not been a comeback team. They have to lose their confidence after last week's game, and they need to stay in the game to keep any confidence. You got a lot of fans that came over from West Virginia. They have 20,000 people here in this 50,000 seat stadium. So they got a lot of people here rooting for him.
Chris Kinzer will kick off. Darren Fulton is the deep man. Kinzer's kick into the wind goes out of bounds at the 30, and they'll penalize Tech 5 yards. There's the difference in changing ends of the field with this wind here today.
Well, you can see, Kinzer, you can see he was coming at the ball at an angle. He tried to kick it across the field. He almost shanked it directly left and went out of bounds. The question is, will they take the ball at the 30 or make him kick over? I'd make him kick again into the wind.
Yeah.
They got to kick back. Already the new rule this year, you kick the ball from the 35 rather than the 40. So he's going to have to kick off at the 30-yard line going into the wind. They should get excellent field position on this kick.
Something they desperately needed this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed. I guess because of the wind, they felt Kinzer didn't have the distance to get the ball deep, kicking straight away like he did when he kicked with the wind. Now he's trying to kick all the way across the field. We'll see if they change and go to the middle of the field and just kick off straight rather than try to go across. Well, he's changed to the other side. He's going to kick it across the field the other direction.
So a 5-yard penalty against Virginia Tech. Nothing. Virginia Tech leading here with 8:25 to play. First down. Winn holds it up. Fulton runs under it at the 14. Good balance. Gets to the outside and is out of bounds. A penalty flag goes down as well.
I tell you, there's a lot of bad blood brewing between these two teams on the field. After the extra point, a couple players were pushing and shoving. On the first kickoff, there was a couple players pushing and shoving. Have an injured West Virginia player right now.
Here's a penalty.
It's a personal foul penalty.
Personal foul against Virginia Tech.
Roman Nelson. Looks like he injured an ankle, and that was very close to breaking all the way. I think it was Billy Myers who got a little piece of him, which slowed him up and made him go out of bounds. But if Myers wouldn't have got the arm on him, there was nobody down the whole sideline.
Here's an update. Third quarter, Virginia leads Wake 17-0.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, hitting the player after he's out of bounds on his kicking team, first down.
Yeah, Wake Forest has been a prolific passing team this year. They threw for over 400 yards earlier in the season against North Carolina State.
Don Nealon's making a change at quarterback. Ben Reed, the backup, the redshirt junior from Bixby, Oklahoma, coming into the game in favor of Mike Timko.
That's the 10-0 lead. He can't afford to go with Chapman with Timko any longer. He's got to make his move. He's got to get something going offensively.
Timko just 1 for 7 in throwing the ball in this game, and now Reed is in. Pecan in motion. Hand off to Holyfield. Trying to get around the corner and some running room. And running him down.
Carter Wiley.
Behind was Carter Wiley.
Again, he comes up. They were faced with him getting close to 10 yards in that play, but Wiley has great pursuit, and he's smart pursuit because he takes the proper angle. It's not always how fast you are, but taking the right angle and not allowing that back to outrun you. He took the right angle, held it to about a 5 or 6 yard gain, keeps him in the drive, gives him a chance to still stop this drive.
See Ben Reed's statistics, 2nd and 5. Complete to Phillips. First down, West Virginia. Well, inside the 35 at the 34.
Reed has some savvy. He came up, saw the blitz, and audibled on that play to the quick pass. He saw the blitz was coming, so even though it's only his 2nd play in the game, he's not afraid to throw the ball, not afraid to call the audible. He's confident in his reads. He read the blitz, called the audible, hit the quick hitch pass, gets him a first down.
8-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Mountaineers at the Virginia Tech 34-yard line. Pecan in motion. Hand off. Holyfield. Nice stiff arm, and he's inside the 25. Holyfield's been running well today. He had a knee injury earlier in the season. Still a little tender, but running well today.
Well, he's been their best running back, leading rusher last year. He's done well ever since he's been at West Virginia. They need him to be able to run the ball. They got to get some points, and I know Don Nealon must feel good. And I bet the play that made him feel the best was seeing him audible. I mean, this is the guy coming in there, hasn't played much, to have the confidence in what he sees be able to call it, take the pressure on himself, and throw the football. You need that confidence in a quarterback.
Holyfield in motion. Here's Pecan. The hole closed quickly. Linebacker Lawrence White, number 42, came over to plug the gap.
Well, the linebackers of Virginia Tech are the guys that make all the tackles. They have 3 of them, Agemy, White, and Nelson. They all alternate around. They were the 3 leading tacklers, despite the fact that they all split time. They didn't play full time, any of them. They were 3 leading tacklers last year. They're the 3 top tacklers again this year.
Ben Reed has hit on 58% of his passes this year. Complete. Phillips out of bounds at the 10. First down, Mountaineers.
Well, the move is paying off already. He had to put Reed in there. You need to get something going offensively, and he's already got him down the 10-yard line. Another good throw. A throw right across the field. Has to get something on it. Gets it right to Phillips. Phillips makes a good move around Myers and gets some extra yardage. Now, this is the toughest place in the field to score from. First down on the 10. You can't get a first down. It's the toughest 10 yards in football. I always look for a pass on first down in pro ball from here. College is a little different, but it's tough to run the ball 3 times and get 10 yards with everybody bunched up.
Holyfield looks for a hole, sneaks underneath the arms of one would-be tackler and moves to the 6.
That's good yardage on first down, almost to the 5-yard line. He ate up almost half of what he needed. So, you know, that's a good first down play. Defensively, you would not be satisfied with that because you can play everybody up on the line. You don't have to worry about the deep pass. You should be able to stop the run.
West Virginia trying to get on the board. It's 10-0 Virginia Tech. Most impressive drive of the day for West Virginia.
Virginia Tech players are calling for fan action.
Reed trying to call out the signals, and a penalty flag goes flying.
The center forgot to snap the ball. Everybody moved for West Virginia except the center and the quarterback. The quarterback didn't move because he didn't have the ball.
Yeah, there was a mix-up. Illegal procedure against West Virginia will cost the Mountaineers 5, and they'll put it back to the 11-yard line.
Watch this. Nobody moves. I mean, everybody moves except the center. The center forgot the snap count.
If there's one guy who has to remember what it is, it has to be the center.
He was probably thinking about the shifting. You know, you can do that. You can shift around. I've seen where quarterbacks have forgotten the snap count. He's the guy that calls it.
So it's 2nd down and 11.
Now that really is an important penalty. That's like getting nothing on first down. They lost the 5 yards they gained. It's 2nd down from the 10-yard line. As you said, the toughest 10 yards in football.
Reed hit as he throws. Intercepted by Agemy. Tech has the football. Lawrence White was the man who hit Reed as he threw the football, and Jamel Agemy made that interception stand. He was just inches. The ball was just inches off the ground, and Agemy picked it up and made the interception. 5 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the first half. Virginia Tech leads West Virginia 10-0. We'll be right back.
Jamel Agemy making the interception for the Hokies, and the Hokies take over.
If your favorite team is Virginia, Virginia Tech, University of North Carolina, or the Washington Redskins, Miami Dolphins, Dallas Cowboys, or almost any other, you'll want to visit CMT Sporting Goods and show your colors. Make your goal CMT Sporting Goods in Roanoke, Tanglewood, Lynchburg, Blacksburg, and opening soon in Danville.
Hurry to Hokie Honda in Blacksburg before you miss your chance to get a new car at an old price. And we'll help you beat the 87 price increase if you'll help us decrease our 86 inventory. Right now, we're making fantastic deals on all remaining 86 models. All Civics, Accords, and Preludes must go. But you'd better hurry, because good deals like good cars won't stay around long. Come to Hokie Honda, 3100 South Main Street, Blacksburg.
Mountaineer fan, this really has to hurt. Looks like you're just about ready to score and an interception.
Well, Hollifield's wide open. They came with a blitz. Nobody's covering. He doesn't see him. He tries to throw the ball, while being hit. That's what inexperience. Ben Reed does not have that experience. He should have just kept the ball and stayed in field goal range.
But what a reception by Agemy. Here's Williams.
All linebackers have good hands.
Right. 5:20 to go in the first half. 10-0. The Hokies lead West Virginia.
I saw Agemy last year intercept a pass and run it for a touchdown against Louisville. So I know he's got hands. I know he's got ability. So that was a big play. They allow him all that yardage. They bend again, but don't break.
2nd and 7 at the 12. Williams. And Maurice brings it out to the 15-yard line.
Well, you can hear the big hit by Darnell Warren. He came in there and made the pads crack, and that's what you want to do as a linebacker. But the big play that stopped that drive, you know, it really wasn't the interception was the big play. It was that offsides penalty. 2nd down and 5. Instead, it's 2nd down from the 10. It forces you to do different things. You got to go to a passing play. The defense knows it. They can come out with an all-out blitz. They can put you. They can dictate to you. Other way around, they were dictating to the defense on 2nd and 5 from the 5.
And the demoralizing thing is you figure you're going to get 3 points at least, and you get 0. Chapman rolling. Chapman pumps, and he's dropped back inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
That's Warren again, Darnell Warren. 2 big plays in a row. He doesn't even start, but he's their 5th leading tackler. I'm sure they're going to see a lot more playing time from him as the season goes on. Watch him. He's in coverage, but he sees a hole and comes up to stop Chapman on the run. Chapman just falls down. But again, that's a sack, and that's something that's been far and few between by West Virginia this year.
4th and 11. And Tech will be punting from the end zone here. Smith at the 43. Hit as he gets to the 42.
Well, they have good field position again inside the 50-yard line, inside Virginia Tech territory at the 42-yard line. They have another injured West Virginia player down at this time, Andy Ambers.
There's a timeout on the field, 3:29 to play in the second quarter. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia 10-0.
Time to play! McDonald's NFL! Kickoff payoff! Oh, boy!
You collect these cards of your favorite NFL stars.
Oh, like him?
Every kickoff payoff card is a winner. Win great McDonald's food prizes.
Winning cards must be redeemed by the following week.
So hurry into McDonald's.
New winners every week at McDonald's!
Collect your favorite Washington Redskins and win great food prizes, too. Play NFL kickoff payoff at any participating McDonald's.
This is the home of the world-famous Clydesdales. A symbol of Budweiser's long tradition of quality, the finest ingredients, beechwood aging, and a special touch of care and pride. No other brewer has such a tradition of quality to live up to. But then, no other brewer makes the king of beers. After all, this Bud's for you.
The Blacksburg Sheraton Red Lion Inn, located on the US 460 bypass, has a bountiful buffet after the game just waiting for you. The Blacksburg Sheraton Red Lion Inn.
Number 13, Ben Reed, at quarterback.
Trailing by the 10-0 against Virginia Tech, and the Mountaineers will have the football here as we come down to the final 3:29 of the first half.
On this single back offense, the thing to watch is who's remaining in the backfield. Is it Hollifield or is it the fullback? This time it's Hollifield, and it's going to be a run.
Hollifield zigs and zags over the 40 down to about the 38-yard line.
If Pecan stays back there as the fullback, then you can expect a pass play. Or maybe they may give it to him on one of his few carries that allows their one to rest. But they go that single back offense and they switch. One time the fullback will stay back. The next time the halfback Hollifield will stay back there as that single back.
Hollifield has picked up 50 yards today. 2nd and 6.
Reverse.
To Harvey Smith, and he's going to throw a pass downfield to Phillips.
Carter Wiley at free safety. The guy's a smart player. I like that more than speed or strength or anything else. When he recognizes a play, he runs to where the play is going to take place. You can see it's a reverse. Smith's going to throw the ball. Ill-advised to throw it, but Wiley read the play. He went way out of his territory, He didn't have that part of the field. He had the deep middle, but he saw the play develop, ran in front, and caught the pass.
3 Hokies.
All the way. Yeah, there was nobody to throw to. Ill-advised to even throw the ball there.
15-yard return brings it out to the 25-yard line. First and 10 for Tech. Hunter spins, keeps those legs moving out to the 32.
Again, turnovers always are the big key to a game. We call turnovers big plays. Interceptions, fumble recoveries, got a flag down.
Personal foul against West Virginia, and I believe, Stan, that came after the tackle.
Well, as we said, there's a lot of that bad blood brewing. This is a big rivalry game, and when you have rivals and you have a team down, like West Virginia is right now, that even makes it worse.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul on the defense. First down.
What I like about pro ball is they tell you who did it. In college, they just say which team did it.
The 4th penalty against West Virginia today. First down and 10 Tech at the 47-yard line. Richardson in motion. And the pitch to Hunter. Into West Virginia territory at the 49. Stacy Smith over there to push him out of bounds.
One thing I can guarantee you, we haven't seen our last personal foul penalty in this game. You can tell by the way the players are reacting to each other. Even on the sideline over there in that play, there was a little bit of bitterness as they pushed off from each other.
I got to believe, Stan, the frustration for West Virginia is coming to the fore.
Yeah, even they get a shot. They come down, they go drive down the field, they throw an interception. They get great field position. They come back with a trick play. What do they get? Another interception.
2nd and 6. Chapman looks, complete to Johnson. Steve Johnson takes it down to the West Virginia 25 and a first down.
And he's calling for the fans. A score here would put them ahead 17-0. Watching, it's a counter play action pass. The tight end comes all the way across the field. The linebackers are caught up with the counter play, the fake. There's nobody back there to take the tight end. It's wide open. Whenever you get play action as a linebacker, the first thing you look for is a tight end crossing. They got caught up too much. They didn't get back to that tight end.
25-yard gain. Chapman to pass again. Open and complete. Inside the 15 at the 13, a face mask penalty coming up as Snell made the catch.
Well, the question is going to be, is it a 5-yard face mask or a 15-yard face mask? They won't get 15 because it'll only be halfway to the goal line, but whether it's flagrant or incidental, if you grab and hold on, it is flagrant. They called it incidental because they didn't give the personal foul signal after they give the face mask signal, so that'll be a 5-yarder.
That's the first ball that Snell has caught today. He had a touchdown pass earlier that was nullified by a penalty.
The second guy right there, that's close to being 15 yards. When the guy's head pulls around like that, you see it again from this angle. It's not the first guy, it's the second man right there. You see his head snap? That's pretty close. Pretty close to being a flagrant.
First and goal at the 8-yard line for Virginia Tech. And Don Nealon pacing those sidelines. It's 10-0 Tech right now. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
They need a big play defensively.
Chapman. Incomplete. Penalty flag, and it's going to be pass interference.
On who, though? Is it on offense or defense? It looked like the offensive player was trying to keep the defensive man from intercepting the ball.
I think it's going to be on Richardson for Virginia Tech, number 20, or Snell, number 82.
That's who it is. That's who it is.
I thought he pushed off at the goal line.
Well, what happened? He wasn't even into play. Stacy Smith, the ball was thrown to Johnson on a tight end crossing, but the wide receiver did not clear out. And Stacy Smith was standing there, could have intercepted the pass, but the wide receiver, Snell, just grabbed him so he couldn't intercept the pass. We said they needed a big play. They almost came up with a giant play defensively, but even this penalty is a big play for him because it puts him back 10 yards.
A 15-yard penalty for offensive
interference, offense, loss of down, plus 15 yards. Repeat.
Here it is. That's a tight end crossing. It's for him. You can see Snell coming over the back. He's holding on with his right arm, which you can't see, so he can't get his other one. That's the biggest penalty you can have, 15 yards and the loss of down.
So it's 2nd and 23, back at the 23.
Roll out high.
Chapman. Snowed under. Back at the 34, and the Mountaineers had the shadows of the Tech goal post on their backs, and now they've pushed Virginia Tech back to the 34.
Again, a strong safety blitz. Second time Larry Holly has come up with a sack. Again, whenever they see that 3 wide receiver, they can tell that back is going in motion. He's leaning like he's going to go. They come with that strong safety blitz. If that motion back does not pick up the strong safety, there's nobody there to block him. Twice in a row, been big plays. And now, what do you call on 3rd and 33? You try to get field goal range is what we try to do.
Chapman, a quarterback. Complete to Johnson, but out of bounds. No catch. So now it is 4th and 33.
It was a good play call. He rolled really a straight drop back, but a corner pattern by the tight end. He faked to the middle, then went to the sideline. He's wide open. The ball's just thrown up a little too high. He should have got his feet down now. His foot come down right on the line. He should have been able to get his feet in. A good receiver that practices that every day has got to get his feet in on that catch.
Kinzer's going to try a 50-yard field goal here. His career best is 46, and he's kicking into the wind. Jeff balances the holder.
As he said here, that wind swirls. You really never know which way it's going to go.
He's got enough leg. Let's see if it makes it. Got it. 50-yard field goal for Chris Kinzer. 13-0 Tech.
That breaks the Virginia Tech record. That's 13 in a row that Don Wade had 12. That's a good way to break it with a 50-yard kick. That's his all-time highest. I think he had 49 in high school as his longest before this.
Time out on the field. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Tech 13, West Virginia nothing. We'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
Farming today is more than knowing when to plant and when to harvest. There are financial reports, government regulations, complex equipment, and marketing decisions. The field work itself takes just about the same amount of time, but for the off-the-farm decisions, the farmer needs a helping hand. The professional staff of the Virginia Farm Bureau is there to aid the farmer with marketing, rural health, insurance, and legislative needs. Knowing when to reap is still important, but so are the other facets of modern agriculture. Virginia Farm Bureau, farmers working together to meet those needs.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. RX-7s are included in your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance. RX-7, Motor Trend's 1986 Import Car of the Year. Winner of the IMSA GTU Championship 6 years running and the current SCCA Pro Rally Manufacturers Champion. RX-7, it's always been a red-hot performer. Now the deals are hot, too. Hurry to your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance.
Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
At Lane Stadium, Chris Kinzer has just set a record of 13 consecutive field goals with a 50-yarder. Tech leads 13-0.
Well, you know kickers are big on stats. He knew that kick would break the record. He probably said to the coach, listen, I've got 12 in a row. You're going to make me kick a 50-yarder into the wind to try to break the record. What's he do? He kicks it. It didn't hit the crossbar. It really hit the stem coming up from the upright that holds it in the ground. It had distance to get over the crossbar.
It looked like that field goal was dying of exhaustion as it made it over the bar. West Virginia returns. Taylor at the 20, loose ball. West Virginia recovers. Back at the 31-yard line.
Mistake after mistake for West Virginia. They're just beating themselves at this point. Very lucky that they came up with that fumble. They could have given Virginia Tech another chance to score before halftime. And, you know, if they'd have done that, it may have taken every bit of confidence they had left. Now they got to go in down 13-0 and try to regroup at halftime.
Shaking up Hokie, and it looks like Kinzer.
Sure does look like Kinzer.
Handoff, Holyfield. Room to run. Billy Myers drops him at the 45.
Hey, if that's Kinzer, then that was one of those hits that you go after the kicker, and there's nothing but revenge on one of those. You don't go after a kicker unless you're trying to hurt him. 12
seconds remaining in the half. Timeout, West Virginia.
I remember when Roy Girella was kicking. They used to send 2 or 3 guys, Houston Oilers did. He would kick the ball and run straight for the sidelines so nobody would hit him. Tony Frisch was the same way. Those foreign kickers, they don't want any part of any contact.
Tony couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
Well, Kinzer, he's an American straight-ahead kicker, a protege of Mark Mosley.
Yeah, he goes through the whole routine like Mark does.
Yeah, tapes up his ankle, goes to his kicking camp every year, talks to him. I guess when you're a guy like Mark Mosley, there's only a few that will follow in your footsteps. You got to talk to those guys. You can't talk to the soccer kickers. Everybody's a soccer kicker anymore.
Straight-on kickers have gone the way of the Buffalo.
Yeah, you can't even find shoes anymore with square toes.
12 seconds remain. 13-0 first half. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia. Ball is ready for play. Mountaineers come up to the line of scrimmage. Field in motion. Reed passes to Holyfield. Grabs the ball at his knees and takes it up to the 48-yard line. And Reed jumps in and calls a timeout with 13 seconds to go. Jamel Agemy made the tackle. 3 seconds to go, right?
Yeah, they don't really have anything they can really do at this point except throw up the old Hail Mary pass and hope for either interference or a tip ball that they can come down with and take into the end zone.
Stan, when you're in a predicament like West Virginia is in, where nothing has gone right, you're coming off 2 consecutive losses, what is going to be the thing that sparks the turnaround?
You got to have somebody make a big play. I don't care what the coaches say. I don't care what adjustments they make. If somebody doesn't go out and make a big play to really spark the team, then they're going to continue to go downhill. Somebody's got to turn around on the field. A coach can only do so much in that locker room. He can put you in a position to make those plays, but somebody has to make a play that'll turn the tide. Everybody talks about momentum. Well, somebody's got to make a play to shift that momentum because Virginia Tech has it now.
This will more than likely, barring a penalty, be the last play of the half. 4 wide receivers. Harvey Smith incomplete at the 30, and that's the end of the first half. So the Virginia Tech Hokies exit Lane Stadium as their fans appreciate this first half effort. 13-0 leaders. We'll be back at the half right after this.
Players Club
This is the average family most financial plans are made for. But at Pilot Life, we know families are made of real people, not statistics. That's why Pilot Life representatives never take an average approach. All people differ. Their goals, their problems, their needs, and of course their dreams. That's why no 2 Pilot Life financial plans are ever exactly alike. And that's why they all work.
For Players Club International, Mr. Telly Savalas.
You know, I love the excitement in Atlantic City and Las Vegas, and okay, I get VIP treatment. Now, you too can get VIP treatment and big savings just by carrying the Players Club Go card.
You too can save 25 to 60% off rooms, 25 to 50% off top-name entertainment, always 25% off food and beverages.
Look, you can stay at some of the finest resorts in the world's most exciting vacation cities. Hey, no strings attached to get the club's benefits. You may save more than the cost of your membership the very first time you use your Players Club Go card. After that, it's bonus time, baby. You listen to Telly? Call Players Club today.
Call me now. I'll send you all the information you need about Players Club. And if you join now, you'll receive this handsome travel wallet absolutely free.
Call 1-800-453-3301 now. That's 1-800-453-3301.
Is there a high-tech gasoline for my high-tech car? Chevron says yes.
Chevron Unleaded with high-tech tech relief. The only choice of all 4 U.S. car makers for their EPA tests.
How about saving money?
Chevron says yes.
Chevron has cash discounts, low self-serve prices, and credit card convenience. High-tech gasoline, low self-serve prices.
Don't forget, it's your turn to pick up the kids.
At one service station, have it all. Chevron says yes.
Of the Perry family,
It is halftime at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia by a 13-0 score. Bob Rathman along with Stan White here. And Stan, as that score indicates, it has been all Virginia Tech here this afternoon.
Well, West Virginia had one chance. They actually had two chances. They came down, got the ball on the 10-yard line. But they threw the big interception. They came back and got another good field position and then threw another interception on a trick play. You can't give the ball away when you get your shots. West Virginia's been working hard to get any opportunity they can, but they haven't been able to take advantage of them right now.
And to note, too, is the fact that Don Nehlen changed quarterbacks, benching Mike Timko and inserting Billy Reed.
Well, for the second week in a row, Timko has started slowly. They can't afford to get in the same situation they did against Pitt, get down too far. They went to Reed. Reed took them right down to the 10-yard line, but then that big penalty where the center forgot to snap took them out of field position, forced them to go to the air, which gave it the interception to Agemy.
As far as Virginia Tech is concerned, a very positive first half. Quarterback Eric Chapman with a good day, and the running of Maurice Williams and Eddie Hunter as we expected.
Well, that's their game, running the football. Williams and Hunter, they were able to run successfully. And Chapman, after a slow start of his own in the first quarter, the first 3 quarters of the first quarter, he came back to throw the ball rather well and lead them down. Got 13 points on the board.
No great surprise to anybody. There's a new #1 team in college football this week, and it's the Miami Hurricanes. You're looking at the USA Today top 20. Miami at 4-0, knocking Oklahoma from #1 down to #5. Then Alabama, Nebraska, Michigan, and those are 5 powerhouse football teams.
And West Virginia has to play Miami of Florida next week. So if they lose today, they lost the last 2. They're looking at 4 losses in a row. They really need, for the whole year, they need a good second half.
Penn State. Then you see #8 is Arizona, then Arkansas. The Western clubs are doing very well this year. 6-pack teams in the top 20.
Well, they've come back. You know, they've been maligned the past few years as not being up to snuff. You know, they've had a storied history. USC, UCLA, they're back.
And the rest of the top 20 with Arizona State #15, then Baylor, Michigan State, LSU, BYU, and Fresno State. BYU going down last night. Now let us go down to the field, and we're going to enjoy the West Virginia University Mountaineers Marching Band. It is halftime at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. 13-0 is the halftime score. We'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
I'm Tom Watson. I write for Golf Digest as a plane editor along with Jack Nicklaus, Tom Kite, and Bernhard Langer. We concentrate on offering you a level of professional instruction in print you just won't find anywhere else. Golf Digest brings you every shot in the game, every situation, every strategy, taught clearly and explicitly by the best teachers and players in the game. And remember this, Golf Digest instruction in print isn't like a lesson you listen to and hope you'll remember. You have it, anytime to reread and refer to and review, to show to your partner and hide from your opponents. Whatever, it's yours to keep, and you'll use it.
Call toll-free 800-358-5858 for a year of Golf Digest, only $12.77, 46% off the newsstand price, and you'll receive as a bonus tips from the tour free. Call 800-358-5858 now.
Be a winner. Read Golf Digest.
Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Your Jefferson Standard agent is worried about you. He worries whether your current retirement plan will buy the kind of retirement you want, whether you'll be able to send the kids to school. If you become ill or disabled, will you have the right coverage to see you through recovery? Maybe you're not worrying about these things, but isn't it nice to know that somebody is?
Bill, it's all worked out.
Well, I've got nothing to worry about then.
Jefferson Standard. Our business is your future.
And now...
This building has grown from the concept of a coach's office, players meeting, locker room. That are, different reasons. This building today is the model for the buildings that will be built next year and the year after. Right now, the Georgias, the Alabamas, they are just undergoing this type of movement, or they've just finished this type of building complex. We've had people come here from all over the country to look at this facility, utilize some of the ideas that we have here, but also to improve upon their facility. I know a lot of people, if they tour this building, they'd take a look at our weight room and say, gee, that's an awful nice weight room. It's pretty. Is that conducive for work? Yes, it is. It doesn't have to be a dungeon to get positive things out of it. It's a very attractive weight room. It's very, very functional. It's very handy. You walk out of the player's dressing room across a 20-foot span, and you're in one of the nicest weight rooms in the entire country. So it's very functional, and we're very, very fortunate here at West Virginia.
Besides one of the nation's finest weight rooms, West Virginia's nationally acclaimed training staff tend to the players' bumps and bruises in a state-of-the-art training facility. From jacuzzis to miles and miles of adhesive tape, the West Virginia training room has it all. The Facilities Building. It is a modern-day commitment to excellence.
Lying between the Blue Ridge and the Allegheny Mountains, Virginia's New River Valley is one of America's most beautiful areas and the oldest geological feature of the continent. The age of the area is evident, but appearances can be misleading, for the valley is also the home of one of the nation's most dynamic institutions of higher education, Virginia Tech. Over the past 2 decades, Virginia Tech has enjoyed an era of unprecedented growth and development that has transformed it from a small technical institution into a major comprehensive university. The most obvious aspect of the transformation is the growth of the campus at Blacksburg. Enrollment has increased from 7,000 in 1965 to nearly 22,000 today. To serve these students and to advance its research and public service missions, the university expanded its faculty from 550 to 1,450 and added 2 new academic colleges and more than 65 degree programs. To concentrate on these achievements, however, is to ignore the most important aspect of the university's development. This growth in enrollment, faculty, and facilities has assembled the human and physical resources required for educational excellence.
Two outstanding institutions, and Virginia Tech. We'll be back with more of our halftime from Lane Stadium in Blacksburg in just a moment. The second half of today's game is brought to you by Piedmont, the airline serving more cities east of the Mississippi than any other airline. By your local Mazda dealer. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by the Virginia Farm Bureau, the largest organization of farmers in the state.
Zenith's clean, cube-shaped styling gives you so much screen from side to side and corner to corner, it makes watching television a whole new ballgame. Zenith. Quality.
Get Zenith quality products at Gwynn Hardware and Furniture in Hillsville, Home Appliance Company in South Boston, Humphreys TV and Appliance in Madison Heights, and Pete Moore Appliance in Roanoke.
Sheeler's is wheeling and dealing with trucks. We're now offering our low interest rates and rebates on our entire stock of trucks. Interest rates as low as 2.4% and rebates up to $750. Prices start as low as $59.90. We've got over 300 Chevrolet, Dodge, and Toyota trucks on the lot right now, all on sale, even the four-wheel drives. Trucks are us at Sheeler's. Sheeler's Chevrolet, Toyota, Chrysler, Dodge. I-81 at exit 37, Christiansburg.
When you need Goodyear tires at a low price, it's easy. Call 982-TIRE. When you want a convenient location just off the interstate and a low price, call 982-TIRE. When you want the best tires for your recreational vehicle at a low price, call 982-TIRE. Roanoke OK Tire Store. Perhaps the only thing bigger on Goodyear is the blimp itself. When you think of Goodyear, call 982-TIRE.
Coleman Adams Construction presents That's a Butler Building.
I said pre-engineered buildings were plain. My Butler builder said these slides would change my mind. After each slide, I said, that's a Butler building? I knew they had economical buildings for all kinds of businesses. But wow, they're beautiful too. They sure sold me. That's my Butler building.
Coleman Adams Construction in Lynchburg. Now that's a Butler builder.
This is your hometown station, WDBJ 7.
Everything is looking pretty sunny here in Blacksburg for the Hokies. Everybody relaxing, taking it easy. But right now, we're going to go down to the field and enjoy the Virginia Tech marching band, the Marching Virginians, under the direction of David McKee. to Lane Stadium. 13-0. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia here at halftime. And we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of that first half of play. And it was all Virginia Tech, as the score would indicate. Eric Chapman, who in the first half passed for 107 yards, rolling out here, and a nice catch by Maurice Williams.
Well, it's the first down play. We talked about surprising they threw the ball, but it worked. Williams outflanked the linebacker, was able to get down close to another first down. They eventually scored.
And here's the touchdown. Eddie Hunter breaking the plane to the goal line to score. He carried the ball 11 times for 53 yards in that first half of play. And then Chris Kinzer, for the final 3 points of the first half, tried a 50-yard field goal, which would have been a personal best for him and also established a Tech record of 13 consecutive field goals.
Well, that's the way to break it. If you're going to break a record, do it with your best. 50 yards. I'm sure that we said he didn't want to have to kick a 50-yarder to break the record, but he lines up exactly on the 40. He kicks it even into the wind. We can see just has enough to get over the upright. It hits the doesn't hit the crossbar. It hits the part of the field goal post that comes up from the ground. But a great kick. What a way to break a record.
We'll be back in just a moment. It's Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia nothing here at halftime at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia.
One of the best-kept secrets in Virginia is the number of services that are available to members of the Virginia Farm Bureau. In addition to looking after rural interest in the legislature, Farm Bureau provides leadership opportunities, grain and livestock marketing, group health insurance rates, top quality insurance programs, and a products program that makes hundreds of items like tires and batteries available at group purchase prices. And that's not all. For more details on what membership in the Virginia Farm Bureau can mean to you, call your County Farm Bureau office.
The 1986 Indianapolis 500 champion, Bobby Rahal, winner of the fastest Indy in history. Continuing the winning tradition of Budweiser racing teams, Bobby took the checkered flag to win the Indianapolis 500. Racing fans, this Bud's for you.
I'm Charles Schwab. Over 1 million investors who make their own investment decisions trade with us. Here are a few reasons why.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Nick. Had to phone my broker.
Your broker? It's 9 p.m.
Right. I can place an order anytime. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You see, my broker's Charles Schwab.
Oh, hold it, Dave. Isn't Schwab a discount broker?
Sure. Schwab saves me as much as 70% on commissions.
And you can place an order 24 hours a day?
Yeah, any day of the week. My order will be at the stock exchange when the market opens tomorrow. Well, we're making our presentation.
Well, the service and discounts sound great. Maybe it's time for me to give Schwab a call.
For a free booklet on how you can save up to 76% on brokerage commissions, call 800-228-3456, toll free. That's 800-228-3456. Charles Schwab, the Bank America Company, member SIPC.
Just about set to start the second half here at Lane Stadium. A sellout crowd, over 51,000 on hand here today. 13-0, the Hokies lead. West Virginia will receive the second half kickoff, and Chris Kinzer will be kicking.
I guess he's all right.
Deep is Darren Fulton.
After taking that hit in that last kickoff, he seems to be okay.
Kicking with the wind to his back. Line drive. And Fulton takes it to 5. 20. Outside and wrestled down at the 22. Chuck Watson does such a great job for Virginia Tech in the special teams downfield to make the tackle after a 17-yard return.
Well, they had an opportunity. It looked like there was a hole there, but they weren't able to get through the hole.
Well, Stan White, I think this is another key moment for West Virginia here. They've had the talk in the locker room, and now it's time to put words into action.
Well, they're going with an unbalanced line on the first play of the second half.
Reed still at quarter. Holyfield, tough yardage to the 25. Mark Webb and Morgan Roane combining on the tackle. Webb 6'2", 270. And Morgan Roane, the senior from Virginia Beach, 6'5", 255.
Well, the first half statistics are a little strange. You would think because of Virginia Tech's running game, they would be leading in rushing yardage. But actually, West Virginia had 93 yards in the first half rushing. Well, Virginia Tech had
Reed to the air, and Holyfield makes the catch at the 31, and a face mask penalty will be coming up against Virginia Tech. Holyfield, as soon as the play was over, turned and said, hey, he grabbed my face mask.
Well, the guy, I think, was even piling on. I think the last guy speared him. Last guy speared him, went over the top. Sean Lucas, I think it was. That would have stopped him. That was short of the first down on that play. That would have stopped him. Now the drive remains alive.
After the dead ball.
You never know when a big play.
First down.
Like something like that's going to keep a team alive. Here it is.
This is Reed at quarterback.
See, they're short of the first down at about the 30-yard line. And watch that right there. You see the helmet right into the
Sean Lucas,
backbone?
The guilty party. 1st and 10. Holyfield. Nowhere to go.
Well, West Virginia has come out with that unbalanced line in the second half. There's only 2 men to the left side of the center. The rest of their linemen and tight ends and wide receivers are all to the right side. They're trying to overload and get a one-man advantage, but Virginia Tech has adjusted themselves correctly to that unbalanced line.
Just underway in the third quarter. Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia nothing. 2nd and 10 for the Mountaineers. Basil, tight end, flip-flops to the right side. Reed, complete. Talley, the receiver, and he's out of bounds at the Tech 43. John Talley's first catch of the day. Scott Rice took him out of bounds. Talley, who quarterbacked this West Virginia team last year, now at a receiving spot.
He was a starting quarterback last year for 5 games, but now he's one of their leading receivers. He's been banged up, though. He has a bad elbow. You can see it heavily bandaged. And he's missed several games, at least 2 games for West Virginia this year. They need him in there. He's a good athlete. His brother's a linebacker for the Buffalo Bills.
Talley goes out of the game, and number 1, Grantis Bell, is in. He's wide at the top of your screen. 3 wide receivers now for West Virginia. Holyfield's wide to the right. Reed will throw to Holyfield, throw it behind him, and completed the full.
Well, there was a mix-up. There was a mix-up on the play. Reed didn't know where to throw the ball. Then he just threw it into the ground as Holyfield was out there, and he was supposed to run a stop pattern, and he didn't. Reed had nothing else to do but just throw it away.
That will set up 2nd down and 10. There are Reed's numbers today. Coming in, he had completed only 7 passes this year. So this is his longest action of the season.
They got to get their
starter Mike Timko.
They need to get their passing game going. They only had 34 yards the first half. Virginia Tech had 111. Plus they had 3 interceptions, and that's the difference in the game, the passing game.
Calvin Phillips goes in motion. Holyfield, hold that he saw, closed quickly. Holyfield down before he coughed it up to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and about 6. Singleton made the tackle.
It's strange. Both these teams are known as running teams, yet really the passing game was the difference in the first half. And there's the 3 interceptions that had led to 10 points out of the 13 points that Virginia Tech has. Turnovers, big plays are always the key to any football game.
Talley's back in the game wide to the bottom of your screen. Reed, and it is complete. Calvin Phillips taking that one right off the top of the grass blade.
It was a good catch by Phillips. He's got to play because of the injury to Talley. He comes up with a big catch that keeps his drive alive. You can see it thrown out there, and he makes a good dive. Makes a good catch of the ball. Obviously, it was the correct call. He did catch it.
1st and 10, West Virginia at the Hokie 30-yard line. Holyfield picks up 5. West Virginia is really moving the ball now, Stan.
Well, they've remained only 13 points. They gave up the first half. A quick score on this first drive puts them within another score of taking the lead. So they need to get really 7 points out of this drive. It would really bring them back, really give them the confidence they need to play this second half. If Virginia Tech could hold them to a field goal, I'm sure they would be satisfied.
Joe Turner's come out of the defensive line for Tech. He's injured. Just went to the bench. Here's Reed. Handing off to Pecan. Chris Rhines to the 20. No first down. Inside the 20. Paul Nelson made the tackle for Tech.
That's one of those rare runs by the fullback, and he snuck through the line. They're looking for the tailback to get it. He hits him before they can get off their blocks. Usually you hit your block, try to keep contact until you can throw him away waiting for that tailback. If you keep that blocker in front of you, that fullback slips by before you can get off that blocker.
First and 10, Mountaineer. Harvey Smith in motion. Holyfield trying to get outside. Gets away from one man. And out of bounds at the 11. Myers pushed him out of bounds.
Again, that was the unbalanced line. And he cut it all the way back to the underbalanced side. Only two men on that side of the ball. We can see it. These two linemen, he cuts all the way back. Talifero has him for a loss, but he slips, gives him a leg, and takes it away, as they would say. And he gets down almost for another first down. He's second and short.
Holyfield has rushed for 84 yards today on 16 carries. West Virginia trying to dent the scoreboard. Inside handoff and nothing doing. Chris Pecan had nowhere to go. Mark Webb made the tackle.
Well, it's going to be third down and about 6 inches to go for a first down. They're probably better off not getting a first down just by the length of the football at this point. If you get a first down, well, they marked it behind the 10-yard line. It's going to be a good 2 feet to go. You want to get some good yardage, so again, you don't have to start at about the 10-yard line on first down. You'd like to get down to the 7 or 6.
Brandon Bell bringing the play in from the bench. He comes wide to the far side. 25-second clock running down. They've only got 4 seconds to snap it. Holyfield didn't get it. Singleton. And Wiley came up to stick him.
They got to go for a first down. They got to make a big play to get the people moving, to get themselves back in the game. They're going to call a timeout to think about it. At this point, I say you had to go for it.
9:58 to go. West Virginia in the second quarter had this same opportunity. They were inside the 10-yard line and looking to score, and they had that interception. Now they've got it just outside the 10-yard line on 4th and 1. So we'll return to Lane Stadium to see what the Mountaineers come up with right after this.
For peak performance, car makers know that the entire intake system, including this tiny fuel injector, must run clean. That's why, for EPA tests on new cars, Chevron Unleaded with high-tech Tetraline is the only choice of 1, 2, 3, all 4 major U.S. car makers. Shouldn't it be your choice, too? For high-tech performance, use Chevron Unleaded with high-tech Tetraline.
Can one service station have it all? Chevron says yes.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. It's year-end clearance time and factory cash allowances mean great deals on every Mazda truck. Trucks rated first in customer satisfaction, like B2000. Dollar for dollar, the best truck buy in America. And save hundreds on the LX. It's already hundreds less than Toyotas and Nissan sport trucks. And it's luxurious inside and out. See your Mazda dealer now and save.
Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
The Mountaineers are going for it on 4th down. Reed sneaks it. They stack him up, but where they spot the ball is very important.
I don't think he got it.
Claiming they stacked him up. We'll see where the officials spot it down.
What a call. Quarterback sneak. Your tailback can't get it. How can your quarterback get it?
Tech holds. Paul Nelson and Carter Wiley stack him up, and West Virginia again penetrates the 20, and they did not get any points out of it.
I don't understand that. They're yelling at the referee about the spot, but the spot, he wasn't really close to a first down. Why would they call a quarterback sneak? He's not your power runner. You got to get the man that can make the yardage. You don't give it to your quarterback. Unbelievable.
1st and 10 for Virginia Tech. 10. Everett in motion. Chapman hands off. And Hunter is stacked up. It was the defensive end, Robert Pickett, who came through.
All year long, West Virginia has been getting the ball down inside the 20, inside the 10, and getting nothing out of it. Cost them the Maryland game. It may cost them this game. They've twice been inside the 10-yard line, and there's still that big goose egg up on the scoreboard.
Well, that was a great play by Pickett to make it 2nd down and 11. A sophomore from Miami, Florida, coming through. 2nd and 11 for the Hokies. And we've got some movement. Penalty flags go flying. David Grant, the nose guard, came charging through. Jim Davey with some movement on that offensive line for Tech. Against Virginia Tech. So that'll back them up 5 yards. Game time next week is 12:30 Eastern Time as the Pitt Panthers take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame Saturday on the TVEN Sports Network.
False start, penalized from the 9 to the 4.5.
And our next telecast will feature the Virginia Tech Hokies hosting the Temple Owls in the '86 Oyster Bowl game in Norfolk, Virginia, Saturday, October the 18th at 12 noon Eastern on most of these creative sports networks there. Chapman hands off. Hunter gets the penalty yardage back to the 9-yard line.
He's almost back to the original line of scrimmage, but now it's going to be 3rd down. Not quite back. It's going to be about 10.5 to go. Big play for West Virginia defensively. They need to stop him and force him to punt from inside their own 10-yard line. That assures them a pretty good field position. But even they get good field position, they got to start doing something with it.
13-0. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia with 8:30 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Defensively, you just got to figure we got to do our job, and our job is to stop them.
Richardson in motion. Chapman on the reverse to Richardson. Tackled at the 12 for a big loss, and Stacy Smith made the play.
Well, good play. If he doesn't come up and make the play, he's going to get 1st down yardage. Stacy Smith, again, a freshman All-American who has played well in his career at West Virginia, a junior now, and continually makes big plays for West Virginia. That's a big one because it makes them punt from their own goal line.
Virginia Tech's Tony Romero to punt. Averaging 36 yards a kick this year, and there's Harvey Smith back at his own 47. Smith. Oh, and what a stick at the 50, and a penalty flag goes flying.
They're going to call him for being too close to the receiver. Interference with the catch. You got to give him room to make the catch. Even though he caught the football, they're claiming that he was too close, that he interfered with his right to catch the ball. You don't have to call a fair catch to have a right to catch a punt. As long as that ball's in the air, you have to give the receiver time to catch the ball.
It was David Everett. Boy, and it's a wonder that Harvey Smith could pop right up after a stick like that.
That's a pretty good play. That's pretty good timing. He had opportunity to catch it, it looked like to me.
35-yard punt by Romero.
You can't get much better timing than that. I guess they're going to say it's too good of timing and give him a penalty.
And it looked like Everett was coming off a block, too.
Well, we'll see. They're huddling. It's taking them a while to make the call. That's what they're calling. Interference with the opportunity to make a catch. You can see he's right here. He's got his eyes up on the ball. He doesn't even see Everett. The ball's right in his hands right there. His helmet comes in right after it. That's pretty good timing. That's a tough call to make.
There's an interference call.
If there's a fraction of a second difference, I would agree with him. Right there, that's a pretty tough call to make.
5 yards.
So the penalty moves the ball inside the 45 at the 43 of Virginia Tech.
Interference on the kicking team violating the 2-yard area on the receiver.
Well, he was in 2 yards. He was within 2 yards. There's no doubt about that.
About 2 inches. 7:34 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 13-0 Virginia Tech. And here come the Mountaineers. 9th Tech penalty today. Myers at quarter. Holyfield in a big hole. At the 30, and a good move gets him inside the 25 and down to the 22.
Yeah, he left Myers, Billy Myers, standing there give him a little hop, skip, and the jump in the open field. That's the problem. Well, you give him that much room to work, any good back's going to make you look silly. It's a little draw play, a sprint draw play. He cuts back, and watch his move on Myers. He just barely gets a hand on him. But at least he forced him back into the middle of the field where the rest of the pursuit is going from. If he'd have made that move and went outside, he'd have been gone.
Faked him right out of his sweat socks. 1st and 10 at the 23. Hollifield bunched up inside, gets outside, and down to the 17.
Well, again, they're inside the 20-yard line. We'll see if they can come up with any points.
Scott Rice, Sean Lucas there. Hollifield has gone over the 100-yard mark, now at 109 yards for the day and averaging just about 6 yards per carry today. It's 2nd and 4 at the 17. Undra Johnson has come in to give Hollifield a breather. Back there with Taylor. Taylor, the ball carrier, to the 11-yard line.
A good cut by Taylor. He made a quick cut back right to the hole. The original hole was filled. But he's able to spot that opening. Had good vision. Was able to get through the line of scrimmage and get that first down. They're now at the 11-yard line. They can get a first down at the 1. But again, that's a tough place to score for a first down around that 10-yard line. They got to get some points.
Johnson. Touchdown, Mountaineer.
Didn't look too hard that time.
And just like that, West Virginia's back in the ball game. It's 13-6 with the extra point coming up. Undra Johnson's 2nd touchdown this year.
Well, they had a strong safety blitz coming. What they did is they split the middle of the line. That strong safety blitz is designed for the outside plays, the rollouts and the pitches. If you split that strong safety blitz, you don't have a free safety because he's come over to take the tight end, which is usually the strong safety's responsibility. That's why there was nobody in the middle to make the tackle when he split the linebacker.
Charlie Bauman in the kick.
And it's good.
And it is good. And the West Virginia Mountaineers are on the comeback trail. 6:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. With the score, it's now Virginia Tech 13 and West Virginia 7. We'll return to Blacksburg right after this.
Hurry to Hokie Honda in Blacksburg before you miss your chance to get a new car at an old price. And we'll help you beat the 87 price increase if you'll help us decrease our 86 inventory. Right now, we're making fantastic deals on all remaining 86 models. All Civics, Accords, and Preludes must go. But you'd better hurry, because good deals like good cars won't stay around long. Come to Hokie Honda, 3100 South Main Street, Blacksburg.
Wimmer Tire presents The People's Protest.
Once upon a time, there was a tire store that sold the best tires. Wimmer Tire Stores. The tires were good, but the people demanded more, like front-end alignment, so Wimmer did them, and the people insisted Wimmer Tire take care of their brakes, and they did, and the people cried out for shock and strut installation, and Wimmer Tire answered. The people demanded it, and now they have it. A full-service tire store. Wimmer Tire, where you wear a bumper sticker and save 25% and maybe more.
Stan White, Bob Rathman back in Blacksburg. Stan, this is a rejuvenated Mountaineer team in the 3rd quarter.
It sure is. You can see there's no free safety. Nobody's there. He had moved over to take the tight end. He tries to get back in the play. That's Carter Wiley waving at him as he scores. But normally, without the strong safety blitz, he would have been right there to come up and make the tackle, as he has done so many times today.
The scoring drive for West Virginia, 43 yards in 4 plays, and for Undra Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the year. We saw during the timeout, even though Johnson got the touchdown, Don Nealon was over talking to Hollifield and saying it was your running that got us in a position to score.
Well, as we said, West Virginia's really had the better of the running attack today. It's the passing attack that's failed them with 3 interceptions in the first half, and with Virginia Tech being able to throw the ball successfully.
Charlie Bauman, the sophomore from Erie, Pennsylvania, to kick it off. And the wind is blowing the ball off the tee. Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia 7. The Mountaineers trying to break a 2-game losing streak here this afternoon. The holder is Willie Edwards as Bauman kicks off. At the 10.
Big hole. Oh!
And Eddie Hunter, mad at himself as he pops into the air in disgust, gets it to the 32.
Oh, just the shoestring tackle kept him from going all the way. And from up here, there was just a gaping hole right in the middle of the coverage for West Virginia. Bryant McAllister makes a shoestring tackle, or it was all over.
Oh, here's a key stat, Stan. Second half first downs for Tech. 0.
Look at the first half. It's almost equal, yet they were behind 13-0. So first downs can be misleading because if you don't get any points out of all that yardage you make making those first downs, it's inconsequential.
Effort in motion. Pitch to Williams. Gets a yard, and that's all.
See what I mean about making a play, how it can pick up the whole team? You got the defense now fired up. You got everything, the whole momentum changed around. They made the plays. They got the ball into the end zone. The guy walked in the end zone, which made it even worse. And now the defense is fired up. They were really responsible for that score because they made them punt from their own end line. You got the punt, the penalty, and then the short drive.
2nd and 10. Williams. Big hole. Out to the 40. Mike Clapp with a big block to spring him. Larry Holly, strong safety man, coming up to make the tackle.
They really caught West Virginia waiting for them to go in motion. They've gone in motion just about every play of this game. The man looked like he was going in motion. They didn't. They quick snapped it. West Virginia was set waiting for something to happen. Williams snuck through the line, got a good gain. Now it's 3rd down and 2.
From the 40. Loses a yard. Robert Pickett, who made a big defensive play in the previous series, tackles Donnelly for a loss here. And the Mountaineers force the Hokies into a punting situation.
Yeah, the momentum has shifted. A strange call. A toss to the fullback. You think you want to, if you're going to toss, you want to get it to your tailbacks, the guys with speed. Try to get him around the corner. All it does is lose a yard for you. Right now, the momentum is in favor of West Virginia.
Tony Romero will punt from his own 25. Good snap, plenty of time. Harvey Smith at the 20. Smith gets it out to the 26-yard line, and that's where West Virginia will take over. A penalty flag goes down at the 31-yard line.
That again was after the play. These guys keep at each other. They talk a lot to each other, and they're hitting a lot at each other after the play.
42-yard punt for Virginia Tech.
42-yard punt by Romero. It's a personal foul
7-yard
against West
return.
Virginia.
Personal foul against West Virginia.
Stupid. You have the momentum. Everything's going in your direction. And what do? You create a stupid play. You hit somebody after the whistle's over, and you put your team back in poor field position. They're going to be back inside the 10-yard line.
.355 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, they'll be inside the 15-yard line, excuse me.
Yeah, half the distance here. We'll get it to the 13. And that's where West Virginia will start this offensive series.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul after the ball is dead on the receiving team. It'll be 1st down and 23, half the distance.
So we've got a timeout on the field. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter with the score of Virginia Tech 13 and West Virginia 7. We'll return to Lane Stadium.
One reason the cost of your company's group benefit plan may be so hard to contain is because it assumes everyone in the group is the same. But people are different, and so is the coverage they need. That's why Pilot Life developed the Flex Advantage benefit plan. Because of its flexibility, Flex Advantage can help contain costs without limiting benefits, and your people get more freedom to choose the benefits they need. Flex Advantage, another example of good sound thinking that works from Pilot Life.
I'm Tom Watson. When I'm not playing golf, I like to read about it. And for my money, there's nothing better than Golf Digest. Golf Digest covers every angle of the game thoroughly. And now, you can get Golf Digest. Here's how.
Call toll-free 800-358-5858 for a year of Golf Digest, only $12.77, 46% off the newsstand price, and you'll receive as a bonus tips from the tour free. Call 800-358-5858 now.
This game is brought to you by Classic Selections, the leader in quality collegiate sportswear and souvenirs. Ask for Classic Selections, quality merchandise at your local retailer.
Ball is ready for play.
Here come the Mountaineers, first down and 23 from their own 13. It is Hollyfield trying to get outside. Talifero takes him down at the 12.
Well, you remember about 3 plays earlier on that last drive. Hollifield made the same cutback, and he gave Talifero a leg and took it away. This time, Talifero says, heck with the leg, I'm going for your jersey. And he grabs on and throws him for a loss. Good play. I guess they need a tear-away jersey there.
Second and 25 at the 11. Curtis Talifero, the senior from Salem. There's a second half rushing yards. A loss of 2 that time for the Mountaineers. Reed rolling, looking, throwing. It's complete. Up to the 21 as Harvey Smith holds it in. Scott Rice was over there defending.
That'll make about 3rd down and 10 to go. But the big thing about that penalty, not only did it put him back in terrible field position, but it came after the play. So instead of it being 1st down and 10, it was 1st down plus the penalty yardage of 12 yards. So 1st down and 22 to go. That's tough for any team to overcome.
You see Smith's yearly statistics now. 7 for 10 is Ben Reed for 65 yards. Hollifield, a man in motion. Reed with time. Throws. Incomplete. It was intended for Grannis Bell. A penalty flag goes down. We may have interference against Sean Lucas of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they have it. I couldn't tell whether Bell fell down and he tripped over him or whether Sean Lucas tripped him. But it's a big play because it keeps the drive alive. That's 15 yards and a 1st down.
It looked like Morgan Roane had gotten through and was delivering a blow on Reed as soon as he let go of the football.
Again, it was not a well-thrown ball. It shouldn't have been thrown, but they may come out of this one ahead.
Pass interference against Sean Lucas of Virginia Tech.
See if we can see who falls down first. We can't tell. You can see the offensive receiver is already down on the ground. I can't tell whether he fell or whether he was pushed down by Lucas.
Yeah, you can see the official in the background reaching for his flag as soon as Bell went down.
Well, when a lot of the Mountaineers fans start screaming.
1st down.
The Mountaineers fans start screaming. A lot of times the referees react. They see contact and automatically you think penalty. But it was hard to tell from up here whether he had tripped and fallen down and Sean Lucas just fell over top of him.
So now it is 1st and 10, a 14-yard penalty. Makes it 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 40. The Mountaineers have controlled this 3rd quarter. Tech's lead is 6, 13-7. Ben Reed at quarterback. Hollifield, the running back. Gets ahead of steam and moves it out to the 44-yard line. Rick Singleton, number 99.
That's a difference.
Bottom of the pile.
That looked like a no-gain play, but now you unpile and you pick everybody up, and they got 4.5 yards. They're running harder, they're blocking harder, they're pushing them back. That's what momentum and incentive will do to you. You get the people going, you start making the plays, everybody wants to join in. And right now, West Virginia is in control of the game, even though they're behind.
112 yards rushing for John Hollifield. Reed to pass. Sack at the 38. Morgan Roane, who hadn't had a sack all year. Today he's got a couple.
That's a big play. You say big plays can change momentum. He didn't even know that he hadn't thrown the ball. He looked downfield to see where the ball was going because he's pumping as he's sacked, and he makes a good play. Rather than throwing up for an interception this time, he holds on to it. Watch Roane look downfield to see where the ball is.
Big Morgan Roane from Virginia Beach. He prepped at Fort Union Military Academy.
Here's a big play, 3rd and 12.
Reed looking for Bell. Deflected. Jamel Agemy, number 41, got a hand on it and knocked it away.
And he may got away with a little interference of his own. With one hand, he was grabbing the receiver. With the other hand, he's batting it down. You can see it right here. He's getting behind him. Now he makes a good play. He makes a good play. He was clean on that. The ball was just thrown behind the receiver, Bell.
Well, West Virginia will punt. Number 18, Lance Carrion, will boom it away. Billy Myers back deep for the Hokies. Fair catch. Myers jumps up to grab it at the 24-yard line. 1:31 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia 7.
The coaches can't even control the players out there. They're after every kick, after every play, somebody's pushing somebody else. And sooner or later, it's going to backfire on the team. It almost backfired on West Virginia there as they had the momentum going and had that penalty to set them back inside their own 10-yard line. They were able to recover from it, but they still have to give the ball up.
38-yard punt for Lance Carrion. And it's 1st and 10 Hokies at the 24-yard line. Everett in motion. Chapman looking over the middle. Now goes outside. And he's got Smith. And a 1st down at the Virginia Tech 42-yard line. Dave Lockwood was the defender. Eric Chapman's had a fine day throwing the football.
That's why Donald Wayne Snell is 5th all-time receiver. He was covered. He saw the linebacker in front of him, and he sifted right back out into the open spot. Of course, plenty of good protection added to the fact that he able to have that time for him to do that.
17-yard reception for that man, Donald Wayne Snell. Randy Jamison in to spell him at receiver. Pitch. Hunter to the 45.
Well, Virginia Tech needs to get something going. The second half, they've got nil. I don't think they have a 1st down the whole second half. They haven't been able to get anything going right now. Before this drive, anyhow. That pass to Snell was the first thing they really accomplished in the second half.
2nd and 7. The big nose man, junior David Grant for West Virginia. Right up on the center, Bob Frulin. Hunter can't get away. They moved it to the 46. Gain of a yard. Going to be 3rd down.
Again, the linebackers are playing that I formation correctly. They're staying behind the ball carrier, and they're right in the hole when Eddie Hunter tried to cut back. Don't give I-backs that cutback hole. Make them go where the play's designed, because that's what hurts you more than anything, that cutback.
Chapman is 9 for 13 for 125 yards today. It's 3rd and 7. Hunter in motion. Chapman with time. Over the middle, the Richardson incomplete. Holly and Stacy Smith covering.
Chapman's holding his head right now. He was wide open and had plenty of room to run. It was, again, that across the grain type of play. Roll one way and sneak the slot man across the formation. There was nobody left over there. They had overcommitted to the rollout side.
Just 5 seconds remain in the quarter. Tony Romero will be kicking for Virginia Tech. There's been a lot of activity today. Handles the nose, low snap cleanly. Smith, fair catch at the 20. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter of play. A quarter that was dominated by West Virginia. They put their first score of the day on the board, and we head to the final 15 minutes of play. End of the 3rd quarter, Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia 7.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Buy
Buying a used car can be quite a gamble. You're never sure what you'll end up with. National Car Rental's used cars are cream puffs, averaging just over a year old. We keep our cars in top condition. Each comes with our exclusive 2-year, 24,000-mile limited warranty covering every major system. Don't gamble with luck. Get a sweet deal from National. Check the phone book for the National Car Rental location near you.
Stadium in Blacksburg sold out today as these two old rivals knocking heads here in Blacksburg. 13-7, Virginia Tech leading West Virginia as we get set to go to the fourth quarter of play. The Chris Kinzer fan club in attendance here today.
Well, they may need him before this day is out. This whole game has shifted over to the West Virginia side. Virginia Tech is beginning to hold their own, to come back a little bit, but they haven't been able to do much offensively this second half. They need to make a play themselves. West Virginia right now only one play away from going into the lead.
It'll be first down and 10 for West Virginia from their own 21-yard line. As we start this fourth quarter, Bill Dooley, the head coach of the Hokies, looking to break a losing streak against his opposite number, Don Nealon, here today.
And defensively, you hate to be in the position where if you make one mistake, you lose the football game. You like to have that cushion of 13 points you had earlier, but now anything can happen. The game is still on the line until the last play of the game. They're only 6 points ahead.
Two excellent head coaches here today, both in the top 20 nationally among active coaches in winning percentage. McCann in motion. Reed hands off. Holyfield outside. Talifero can't get him. Holyfield with some running room, and he's over the 35 to the 38. Carter Wiley ran him down.
Again, the cutback, Holyfield. If I was playing on the end where Talifero was playing, I would just stay at home. I wouldn't try to over-pursue. He wants to cut back every time. We talk about I-formation cutback. He's doing off the single back. Nobody's even blocking Talifero. He's just overrunning the play.
First down, West Virginia. At the Mountaineer 36. 15 yards that time for Holyfield. To the 38-yard line. Chris McCann, the ball carrier. Morgan Roane, the tackler, along with Sean Lucas. Here are the third quarter numbers.
Well, you can see 70 yards for West Virginia, only 52 for Virginia Tech, and they got most of those the last time they had the ball on that one pass to Donald Wayne Schnell.
Yeah, you hear the Mountaineers firing that shotgun, getting the West Virginia partisans on the far side excited.
Well, got West Virginia excited. They called a timeout.
There's a timeout on the field. 14:07 left to play in the game. Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia 7. And we'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
Whether it's selling grain or livestock or looking after the rural interest in Washington or in the General Assembly in Richmond, Farm Bureau is on the job. A healthy farm economy is a must. Virginia Farm Bureau provides help in commodity and legislative areas and offers a complete line of low-cost, broad insurance coverage across the state. Blue Cross Blue Shield group health insurance rates are available to members of the Virginia Farm Bureau. Call your county Farm Bureau office for more details on one of the best-kept secrets in Virginia, the Virginia Farm Bureau.
If you don't read the Wall Street Journal, you're saving a little time when you could be investing it.
Call 800-336-1111 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.50 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.50. Phone 800-336-1111 now for the Wall Street Journal.
.14:07 remaining in the game. Tech 13, West Virginia 7. Here are the second half plays. Dominating play is West Virginia in the second half, but a key stat, Stan, they have but one timeout remaining.
They've wasted two already. One time to decide where they went to go for it on fourth down. They didn't make it. Let's hope they get something better out of using this timeout.
Reed, draw, Holyfield. Up to the 46.
He's a good back. That should have been a no-gainer. He made that on his own. He made two quick cuts, one cut back and then one opposite direction cut. Good quick cutting back, Holyfield is. He was a walk-on at West Virginia. You don't get players of that quality walking on too often in a program.
He had a big game against the Hokies last year. 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards. West Virginia's got a 3rd and 3 as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To Bell. And it's complete. First down, West Virginia at the 48-yard line. Nice grab by Grannis Bell, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, Reed is really aiming the ball. Watch him. He just takes his time like he's almost aiming to throw it in there, to be so careful. And that's why those passes are so difficult to catch. He's had a lot of easy, wide open pass completions that the guys have had to dive to catch the ball and come up with great catches. He's really aiming the ball in there. If he aims too much, somebody's going to pick off one of those.
Bell wide to the near side. And the handoff to Holyfield. And he's over the 50. I beg your pardon. Undra Johnson, the ball carrier, and he gets to the 49 of Virginia Tech. Joe Hunter brought him down.
And there is a difference between Undra Johnson and Holyfield. Holyfield's much shiftier, better cutback runner. But of course, that injury, that knee injury that he's had last year and this year has reduced his effectiveness and his availability to West Virginia so far this year. But he's healthy now and he's running well.
2nd and 8 from the Tech 49. Nowhere to go for Ben Reed.
Mix up there. Something was wrong. You don't drop back in 3 steps and then just tuck the ball and start running. Looked like Grannis Bell didn't run his route. He was looking for him. There was a blitz coming. Grannis Bell did not either break off his pattern like he should have or didn't hear an audible. He just tucked the ball and took the loss.
Ben Reed, a couple of negative yards. It's now 3rd down and 10.
That's better than throwing an ill-advised pass and throwing it away and getting an interception. At least he had the presence of mind, just eat the ball and come back and get a first down with a better designed play, a better executed play.
They're going to put Johnson in motion. Reed getting some pressure from Webb, and it is complete.
You see where the mark is. It looks like he marked it, yes, just enough for a first down.
Grantis Bell. Mountaineers keep the drive alive. It's 1st and 10 at the Virginia Tech 41.
That was a great throw. Again, pressure right up the middle. Forced Reed to sprint out to his right. He has to throw across his body. And Bell again makes a diving catch. But look, they marked the ball at about the 41. It looked like he was catching it about the 42. That's where the ball was when his knee went down. It's not where the knee is, it's where the ball is when you go down. They got a very good mark on that ball, because if it's on the 42, they don't get the first down, and it's 4th down.
And they're talking to the West Virginia coaches on the far side. Not about the mark, but
no, they don't have instant replay in college, luckily for West Virginia at this point.
it's a 1st down and 10 for the Mountaineers at the 41-yard line. And ball's marked ready for play. The clock rolls. 11:15 to play in the game. Virginia Tech leading West Virginia 13-7. Reed coming in the first half for starter Mike Timko. Penalty flags go flying.
Again, the snap count wasn't there. I don't know if the center didn't snap it again. You saw the motion man come across the field and go forward, but now they're pointing at Virginia Tech. That can't be. They're going to huddle up and discuss it, huh? I hate huddles. They're going in there saying, well, what do you think? What do you think happened? They never know. Because whoever talks the loudest, they take his word for it. Those guys, they get in the huddle. There's no chance of it coming out right. It did.
West Virginia. Well, Don Nealon calls the play and sends Harvey Smith in. See if we can see the
watch the motion
here.
man. He's going all the way towards that. Yeah, he's all right. That defensive man's allowed to move. He can move and come back.
Offense will repeat the down.
If he's offsides and the offensive man moves, it's still on the offense. Unless there's contact made by that defensive player.
1st and 15. Holyfield in motion. Reed throws, and it's complete at the 40 to John Talley.
Well, he got his penalty yardage back anyhow.
Now 2nd and 10. John Talley's had a problem with fluid on his elbow this year. Missed a game. Picks up 6 yards to make it 2nd and 9.
We talked to Nealon about Timko yesterday. He seemed to be pleased with what he'd been doing, but it didn't take long when he went 1 for 7 to get him out of there today.
And off to Holyfield. Out of bounds at the 32. That's going to be shy of a first down by a yard.
I tell you, whatever Taliaferro does is not enough. He stayed all the way outside the blocker, and he's still cut back outside of him. He's completely outside the wide receiver. Watch him on this play. Holyfield just loves to cut back. He's outside there. Boom. Just can't make the play. He's opportunity to make the tackle. He's missing tackle.
So it's 3rd down and a yard. We have 10 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the game.
They really have 2 downs to make it. They're down in 4 down territory.
Holyfield. A penalty flag was thrown simultaneously with the snap.
Yeah, he stopped the play. They stopped the play, which usually means it's on the offense.
It's an injured West Virginia Mountaineer, Kevin Koch in the center. Procedure against West Virginia.
The only time you stop a play on the defense is when they jump off sides and make contact. That automatically stops the play. But when an offensive interior lineman moves, the play is dead at that point. And when you stop a play, almost 100% of the time, it's on the offense.
So Kochen, the injured Mountaineer, and a 5-yard penalty, the 8th of the day against West Virginia.
Dead ball foul. Encroachment. Offense lined up in the neutral zone. Repeat the down.
And there you have the explanation from William McDonald, our referee.
And Kochen gets hurt on a play that had been stopped. They went on with the play, but it was trying to be stopped, and the whistles just weren't heard.
So coming into the game will be a freshman, and a true freshman, Jeff Price, from Romulus, Michigan, to snap the football for West Virginia.
That's 2 guys from Romulus, Michigan. Holyfield's also from up there.
Timeout on the field. 10-13 to play in the game. Hokies lead 13-7. We'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
Birmingham, you've been good to me. Oh, magic lady, for all you do, I'll give my best in return to you. The magic's here and the magic's in me.
Is there a high-tech gasoline for my high-tech car?
Chevron says yes. Chevron unleaded with high-tech tech relief, the only choice of all 4 U.S. car makers for their EPA tests.
How about saving money?
Chevron says yes.
Chevron has cash discounts, low self-serve prices, and credit card convenience. High-tech gasoline, low self-serve prices.
Don't forget, it's your turn to pick up the kids.
Can one service station have it all? Chevron says yes.
The scoreboard arithmetic, 4th quarter, Lane Stadium, 13-7, Virginia Tech.
Again, big mistake. Instead of 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 6. And the percentages go way down on 3rd and 6 as compared to 3rd and 1. Unbalanced line.
Flip the tight end, Basil. And off to Holyfield. He gets a block on the corner. He's got the first down and then some. Out of bounds inside the 20 at the 19. Scott Rice was over there to hit him out of bounds.
Again, the unbalanced line gave them a man advantage because Virginia Tech did not shift over. You can see Taliaferro still on the outside. It gives him 1-man advantage, and he gets around the corner because Basil's an extra blocker on that side. He might as well block. He hasn't caught a pass all season as a tight end, so they must get him in there for his blocking ability, and it showed on that play as a big gain by Holyfield, puts him down inside the 20.
159 yards for John Holyfield. 1st and 10 at the 18. Undra Johnson. And he gets it down inside the 15. He's at the 11-yard line before Carter Wiley upended him. The second half has belonged to West Virginia.
Sure has. I don't know what they said at halftime, but whatever it was, they got to bottle it up and keep it. But still, they're 6 points behind. They got to get some points. Virginia Tech is just looking for somebody now on their side of the football to make a play to keep them in the lead in this game.
Craig Taylor is the fullback. Johnson, the tailback. Phillips in motion. Johnson, nice cutback to the 6. First and goal, West Virginia.
Well, they're beating Virginia Tech down. They're running them down. They're running. They got them demoralized. Right now, somebody doesn't make a play for Virginia Tech rather quickly, this whole game could turn around. Completely around. It's already turned, but can turn completely around.
Callie is out. Bell is in.
You can see the defense staying there with their hands on their hips. You don't do that unless somebody's pounding you.
Johnson. Hit and stopped at the 4-yard line. Paul Nelson, the linebacker, jumped up in the gap and made the tackle.
Well, they're blitzing those inside linebackers, trying to control that line of scrimmage. But you can see they're worn down. They're getting in the huddle slow. They're putting their hands on their knees and getting down low. They get their hands on their hips. That's not an excited defense. That's one that's been demoralized to a certain extent.
And the old trench fighter, Bill Dooley, digging in with his defense here. 2nd and 4 at the 4. Holyfield. Nothing up the middle. Maybe to the 3.
They're just plugging those gaps. West Virginia's got to go outside. They're not going to allow them to run inside.
Now it's 3rd and goal. From the 3-yard line. Reed waits for the messenger. Callie reports the play to the huddle.
It's a big play in this game.
Maybe the biggest. 7:50 and the clock is rolling. 4th quarter. Tech leading 13-7. Smith and Callie go wide to the right. Tight to the left. Holyfield and Taylor behind Reed.
Unbalanced line right. It's that outside play.
Holyfield cuts back to the left. He's dropped at the 3. Talaferro. The play was designed to go to the right, but Holyfield took one look at it and said, no way, I'm going to try to get in on the left side.
Well, he's been so successful all day. If he doesn't trip, Talaferro never gets to make that play, but he stumbled in the backfield.
Now West Virginia takes a timeout.
That's their last one.
It's going to be 4th and goal from the 3-yard line.
Well, what do you do here? 4th and goal, you're 6 points down. You need a win. A tie doesn't do you much good, so a field goal doesn't do you a lot of good. Because you get 2 chances to go for a touchdown rather than trying to get field goals.
7:20 remaining here in the game. West Virginia, when we come back, will have a 4th and goal at the Tech 3-yard line. We'll be right back.
Sheeler's is wheeling and dealing with trucks. We're now offering our low interest rates and rebates on our entire stock of trucks. Interest rates as low as 2.4% and rebates up to $750. Prices start as low as $59.90. We've got over 300 Chevrolet, Dodge, and Toyota trucks on the lot right now, all on sale, even the 4-wheel drives. Trucks are us at Sheeler's. Sheeler Chevrolet, Toyota, Chrysler, Dodge. I-81 at exit 37, Christiansburg.
If your favorite team is Virginia, Virginia Tech, University of North Carolina, or the Washington Redskins, Miami Dolphins, Dallas Cowboys, or almost any other, you'll want to visit CMT Sporting Goods and show your colors. Make your goal CMT Sporting Goods in Roanoke, Tanglewood, Lynchburg, Blacksburg, and opening soon in Danville.
Bob Rathman, Stan White at Lane Stadium. West Virginia has used its final timeout. 4th and goal from the 3.
Maybe expect them to use some type of rollout. Give them an option of going. We got 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. They're going to unbalanced line again. It's going to roll out to the top.
Reed throwing. Incomplete. Double coverage in the end zone on Harvey Smith.
Sean Lucas had the
Keith
ball.
Winn.
I don't know why he threw it to him. There was no chance. He just kept running. Maybe he could have run it in. You see right here, good double coverage. There's two men right there. No way they were going to get that ball in. Sean Lucas really should have intercepted the ball. If he would have, they'd have got the ball on the 20-yard line, which would have been a big advantage rather than having to start on the 3-yard line.
And again, West Virginia comes up empty, deep in Tech territory. Chapman, a quarterback for the Hokies. He pitches. Maurice Williams gets it out to the 5-yard line. All right, it sounds like a broken record, but flashbacks of the Maryland game, and here today, West Virginia's had opportunities to put points on the board, and something has gone awry one way or another. Here's an injured Hokie, and that is Maurice Williams. Richardson coming in, Myron Richardson. That's for the place. Eddie Hunter will come in at tailback.
Well, they wouldn't want to lose Maurice Williams. Players don't even know he's injured. They're coming out to start the next play. Now they're looking over to see that he hasn't gotten up yet. They're used to seeing Hunter and Williams going in and out of the game. So when Hunter came in, they didn't realize that Williams had been injured. Virginia Tech's got to get that ball out of there. They don't want to punt backed up and give them good field position. West Virginia had to do that, though. They had to go for the touchdown. They need to go for a win. The tie doesn't do them any good. There's no sense kicking a field goal because it really doesn't give you any. You still need a touchdown to win, so why go for it there when it doesn't do you any good? Try for the touchdown. If you get down again, you got to try for the touchdown a second time.
6:53 is the time remaining here. Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech with 13 first-half points. West Virginia with an Undra Johnson touchdown run. They cut it to 13-7. And now the Hokies have it 2nd down and 8. Hunter runs it out to the 10. Not enough for the first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 3. Eric Lester, the linebacker, number 59, made the tackle on Eddie Hunter. Hunter and Maurice Williams, the 1-2 punch at tailback for Tech. Hunter now with 65 yards and 16 carries. Averaging 4 yards a carry. He's usually up around 7.5.
Well, West Virginia is not going to sit back and let him drive the ball. They had a corner blitz on that play, so they're going to do whatever it takes to stop Virginia Tech. That's going to be close. He needed to get to the 13. Eric Lester brought him down. 98, David Grant in there. Well, you're right. It's right on the line. He may be a couple inches short. That's that sprint draw, cutback. Just a good play. Well, Lester came off that block very well. Great play. Got him down. He needed somebody to help him, to hold him short of the first down. They need more than one man on the tackle. They need gang tackling. That's why he was able to squirm up close to the first down. He hit him well short. It's tough to stop a guy coming off a block. It's short. He's got about a foot to go, not even a foot, but they got to punt it. Got to punt the ball. So the Mountaineers will get it back, and 5:45 remaining in the game. Well, big play right there. Eric Lester, that may have been the tackle of the game, holding him a foot short of the first down. He's played an excellent game. Well, he came off the block. He was all by himself. He doesn't make the play. He's still running. Tony Romero to punt. Harvey Smith, the deep man at midfield. What, they need a good punt. He's not their #1 punter. Nearly blocked. Fair catch by Smith. Grabs it at the 48-yard line of Virginia Tech. Tell you what, that's great field position. They're able to come back. The defense did their job for West Virginia. They made them punt from their own end zone. 5 minutes and 28 seconds remaining to be played in the 4th quarter at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. West Virginia with the football, trailing 13-7 when we come back.
No possession is more precious than life. And no business is more rewarding than improving life. At Jefferson Pilot, we've spent over 80 years making lives better, richer, and more secure through our companies in insurance, financial services, and communications. The Jefferson Pilot Companies. We help put a brighter face on the future.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. It's year-end clearance time at your Mazda dealers. Time to get a great deal on a Mazda 323 with standard features like a fuel-injected engine, front-wheel drive, four-wheel independent suspension, and split fold-down rear seats. The 323 is one red-hot value. But now, during clearance time, your Mazda dealer can make it even better. See him today and save. Get a great deal at your local Mazda dealer today.
Virginia Tech 13, West Virginia 7, fourth quarter. The Mountaineers do not have a timeout left with 5:28 to play, so Stan White, it's now or never.
Yeah, they need to score right now. They've wasted all their timeouts. You need those on defense to stop the clock when the other team has the ball.
Reed handing it off, and it's Johnson. And into the 45-yard line, and Gang tackled there. Leading the parade, Singleton and Jamel Agemy, the linebacker.
In college football, you can pretty well stop the clock when you're on offense. You can throw the ball out of bounds. The clock stops on a first down. You can control the clock offensively. You need those timeouts when you're on defense because then the other team's in control of the clock. They don't have any left.
Reed back to pass. Complete. Knocked away. It looked like Calvin Phillips had it, and as he was coming down, Myers and also Talaferro knocked it out of his hand.
Yeah, I think it was Talaferro's final hit that got him. He was coming down with it after Myers took his legs, but Talaferro hit him in the chest and knocked the ball free. That's a big play because he was down in first down territory. Right there, he has it coming down. There comes Talaferro knocking the ball out. That's why you never give up on a play. You keep going until that whistle because you can be the last guy there and still knock the ball loose.
3rd and 8 for the Mountaineers. Reed looking, throwing. Bell falls down at the 38. It's incomplete. His feet just went right out from under him. And he's not the biggest target in the world either.
No, he isn't. He was looking at the defensive man, trying to go where he wasn't. And when doing so, he didn't see the ball, and when he went to make the adjustment, his feet went right out from under him.
He's only 5'8".
Now with 4:47, they got to punt the ball away. I guess the only good thing was they failed quickly.
Lance carrying the punt to Billy Myers. Myers will make a fair catch inside the 10, right on the 10-yard line. Well, the Hokies will have it. Trying to gain yards and also run some clock with 4:39 to play in the game.
Yeah, they're going to take the ball. They're going to grind it out. Now's when a great running team will be able to run the clock out and win the football game. They've been great running teams in the past. Right now, they have to be able to do it. And they hadn't had much success this second half. West Virginia defense has really picked up the play in the second half. Don Nealon said he would be surprised if they didn't play well. Well, especially in the second half, they have played well.
Myers, Hunter rather, and here's Hunter. Eddie out of bounds. Nice run out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Stacy Smith came over to get him.
Yeah. A good run, but the only thing is he went out of bounds to stop the clock. The clock's just as important as the yardage at this point. Right now they're playing against the clock. Right there, Stacy Smith has the opportunity. He's made a lot of big plays today, but he didn't make that one. I tell you, that guy's elusive, and he makes people embarrassed to go to game films the next day. Stacy Smith won't be looking up at the screen tomorrow when they look at those films.
Eddie Hunter has rushed for 81 yards today. They'll try it again. Stays in bounds over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Hunter's biggest day of the year was at Syracuse with 125 yards. Those are the two mascots. Go at it here at Lane Stadium.
This looks like professional wrestling. They're taking turns flipping each other. I don't think it's for real.
4:01 to play. 13-7, Virginia Tech.
Clock continues to run.
Hunter, and he gets to the 35, gets only to the 30. Lockwood, Holly there to make the tackle.
Well, they need a first down right now to really almost put the game away. With it'll be close to 3 minutes left when the ball's snapped. It'll be about 3:05 when it's snapped. They get a first down, they can almost run the clock out without having to get another first down. So right now, West Virginia's got to throw everything they got at Virginia Tech. They got to gamble, they got to blitz, they got to just go after them and hope they can make a big play.
Under pressure. Incomplete.
Yep,
Richardson not even in the vicinity. He was looking over the wrong shoulder.
That's all right. Travis Curtis grabbed him when he turned up, threw the ball away, but Curtis grabbed the receiver and they got in for a penalty. That may be the old ball game. They don't mark it there, though. The ball goes back. It's going to be either an interference or a holding on West Virginia.
See what the play call is. Now they're going to pick it up. No penalty.
It would have been pass interference if the pass was catchable. It was not a catchable pass. We have nothing.
Yeah, I don't care if you grab a guy. It doesn't make any difference. That's holding. And he grabbed the man. I don't know if we can see it right here. When he turns up, right there, he grabs his jersey. He grabbed him. They didn't call anything. The pass was not catchable because they were miscommunication between the two. But when you grab a guy's jersey, it's holding at very least.
Now that's what Bill Dooley was upset about.
I'm sure he is.
So now Tech has to turn the ball over to West Virginia.
Number 12, Romero.
And it's going to be Romero to punt. Smith back deep for West Virginia. Smith's going to take it on the run at the 35. Snowed under there.
Well, when you try to block the punt like West Virginia did, you don't have anybody blocking the coverage, so you just try to take the ball and get a few yards. You're not going to get much blocking. All you're going to get is a couple of big hits, and that's what Smith got in that play.
There's the story. 2:52 to play in the game. Hokies 13, West Virginia 7. First and 10 Mountaineers from their own 36, and keep in mind West Virginia does not have a timeout at its disposal. Reed. Pecan cannot hang on at the 41. Ben Reed today is 10 for 18. 96 yards. He's had one pass intercepted.
Well, that ball was not thrown extremely well, but at this stage of the game, you got to make the big plays. You got to catch the ball. Pecan has to come up with that play. The ball's thrown behind him. But he could have caught that ball and gone out of bounds, stopped the clock, and made it 2nd and 3 rather than 2nd and 10.
2:45 remaining. Reed looking over the middle. Pressure. He's going to run it. Needs a block. Gets it out to the 47. It's a first down, West Virginia. Curtis Talifaro made the tackle.
That'll stop the clock. So he didn't look extremely athletic in running for that first down, but he got the job done.
Timko back in at quarterback now for West Virginia.
An injured player for Virginia Tech, which stopped the clock.
Rick Singleton coming off the field. So Timko's back in there. First and 10. Fourth quarter, Virginia 24, Wake Forest 21. Update, Grove Stadium in Winston-Salem. 13-7, Virginia Tech. Here's Timko's stats as he comes back in. Those numbers from the first quarter of this game.
You very seldom you get a chance to redeem yourself after that poor of a start. He has that opportunity.
Timko looking, still looking. Dumps it in, complete over the middle. Stopping the clock with 2:07 to go.
And he's down.
Timko is shaken up. And Reed will come right back in, it appears.
Right as he was throwing the ball, he takes a good, solid hit. Morgan Roane. Ball should have been completed, though. Just a bad throw. I guess that's justice. You throw it badly, you deserve to get hit like that, huh?
That's from the defensive point of view. Here's the final score. North Carolina 21, Georgia Tech 20. Final. North Carolina 21 and Georgia Tech 20. The Timko Seeing stars being helped off the field, and Ben Reed's going to come back in.
And official timeout.
At this 2nd down and 10 play with 2:07 remaining in the game.
Well, we have rotating quarterbacks now as they come in and out.
So Reed back at the helm. Lone setback is Pecan to block. Incomplete at the 40-yard line, intended for Calvin Phillips.
Good coverage by Talifero. He dropped out underneath. They wanted to throw the sideline pattern as that drop end or that outside linebacker. His responsibility is that short zone to the sideline. He got out underneath, almost intercepted the ball. He looked like he knew the play, was laying in wait, broke on the pass, but Reed was smart enough to throw it out of his reach.
2:02 to play. 13-7, Virginia Tech trying to hang on. West Virginia. 3rd and 10. Intercepted at the 28-yard line. The 4th interception of the day for Tech. Billy Myers with his 2nd of the day.
Tell you, Paul Nelson held John Hollifield coming out of the backfield. That's who he was throwing it to. You can't jam receivers that far downfield. I don't know if we'll see it. He was throwing to him. Right there it is. He had just grabbed Hollifield and the ball was overthrown. Myers gets his 2nd interception of the day, both on overthrown passes to the running back.
So Billy Myers, the junior from nearby Pulaski County.
Here's where they're going to miss their timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. Right now, they're just going to run the clock out.
Chapman hands off to Eddie Hunter. And Eddie to the 32.
I tell my running backs to put both arms on the ball going through the line. He was pumping that football when he was running through the line. You don't want to do that. You want to get both hands, one around each end of that football. You don't want somebody sticking their arm in there. Defensively, you go in there. You don't try to make tackles. You try to knock the ball out.
And West Virginia, as you mentioned, Stan, powerless to stop the clock. 1:30 and running here. Virginia Tech bidding for their 4th straight win, leading 13-7.
He's using up all the 25-second clock like he should.
25-second clock at 5, 4, 3. Chapman gets off the snap and pitch to Hunter. And he cuts back, keeps going over the 35 to the 37. Shy of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Again, as a coach, you hate to see him running like that and cutting back, because fumbles happen a lot of times when you do cut back and you're hit by somebody you don't see. Right now, they don't really need to do anything but fall on the ball.
2 more snaps and that should do it, regardless of whether they make the 1st down. It's 3rd and 1. 40 seconds to play. West Virginia out of timeouts. Pitch to Hunter. 1st down, Tuck at the 42, and that should do it.
They already had it done. It's down to 22 seconds. That's why you really don't want to call a pitch out where you have to toss the ball in the air and leave it from your possession. But all's well that ends well. The clock runs out. It's been restarted. The game's over.
So the Virginia Tech Hokies. Hunter with that carry hits the 100-yard plateau.
Right on the button. That's what you call holding on to win, because they didn't do much the 2nd half. They just held on to what they had done the 1st half. You don't win a lot of games doing that.
Virginia Tech ends a 5-year losing streak as the Tech players carry Coach Bill Dooley across the field to meet Don Nehlen. There you see the 2 shaking hands, and Virginia Tech has its 4th consecutive win. 4-1 are the Hokies as they beat West Virginia 13-7. And for the Mountaineers, their 3rd consecutive defeat, with Miami coming up next week in Morgantown. We'll return to Lane Stadium in just a moment.
Hurry to Hokie Honda in Blacksburg before you miss your chance to get a new car at an old price. and we'll help you beat the 87 price increase if you'll help us decrease our 86 inventory. Right now, we're making fantastic deals on all remaining 86 models. All Civics, Accords, and Preludes must go. But you'd better hurry, because good deals like good cars won't stay around long. Come to Hokie Honda, 3100 South Main Street, Blacksburg.
Take it from Dave Lennox. You can heat and cool your home with just one unit, our energy-efficient 2-speed heat pump. It automatically downshifts to a lower speed to meet your comfort needs and save you energy and dollars, too. Call one of these independent Lennox dealers today.
Hi, I'm Wendell Bradley. In Lexington and Rockbridge County, we are committed to be your total home comfort specialist. We sell the best and service the rest.
In the Bedford-Smith Mountain Lake area, we at Sweets Heating will be glad to discuss your energy needs, and we service what we sell.
Attaboy, Mel.
Back at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. Bob Rathman here along with Stan Whiteworth. The Virginia Tech Hokies defeating arch rival West Virginia 13-7 today. The Hokies did all of their scoring in the first half. 2 Chris Kinzer field goals, one of 24 yards and one of 50, and an Eddie Hunter touchdown run of 1 yard, giving Tech a 13-0 lead. But West Virginia came out, took the second half kickoff, and dominated the final 30 minutes of play. They got a touchdown from Undra Johnson, an 11-yard touchdown run to make it 13-7. But Stan White, twice they had the ball inside the 15-yard line in the second half and could not get any points out of it. And as you so aptly put it, Tech held on for the victory.
Well, they also the first half they had the ball down inside the 10 and got nothing out of it a couple times. So they have to take advantage of those opportunities, getting the ball down inside that 20-yard line. We talked about how many times Virginia Tech had completed their drives once they're inside the 20-yard line. If West Virginia could have done that, they'd have won the game. Big win for Virginia Tech. Twice this year they've overcome jinxes, I guess you could call them. Clemson, first time since 1954. West Virginia, the first time since 1980. So, you know, those are big wins considering all the situations that they're in here at Virginia Tech. A lot of distractions, a lot of problems. But the football team has put it aside and had bigger wins this year than maybe they've had since Bill Dooley has been here.
Final statistics in this game. Some of the leaders, Maurice Williams, before going out with an injury late in the game, rushed for 45 yards for Virginia Tech today. The leader was Eddie Hunter as he ran for exactly 100 yards in this game on 23 carries and added a touchdown today. The quarterback, Eric Chapman, his passing statistics, he was 9 for 14 for 125 yards today, as the West Virginia Mountaineers rolled up 235 yards on the ground, 87 yards passing for a total offense figure of 321. West Virginia, Virginia Tech had 135 yards on the ground. Very balanced attack with 129 passing yards and a total offense of 264. So despite the fact, and Holyfield was the big runner, a career-high 161 yards today for West Virginia. But despite the statistical numbers in terms of yardage, which favor West Virginia, the Hokies leave Lane Stadium the winners here today.
Again, we go back to it's all taking advantage of the situations during the game. Doesn't matter how many yards or how many first downs or time of possession. It's how many points you put on the scoreboard. If you waste those opportunities, you're going to lose football games. They lost against Maryland because they wasted opportunities, and they also wasted opportunities today.
Today's game has been a presentation of Creative Sports Marketing. The executive producers have been Ray Carey and Mike Wells. The producer of today's game has been Steve Ulrich. The director has been Gary Clem. The associate director has been Jim Tringus, and our technical director, Ken Dennis. We'd also like to thank the directors of athletics and head football coach of Virginia Tech, Bill Dooley, and his staff, and sports information director, Jack Williams. And while we show you the names and the credits of the other people who have made this broadcast possible, I'd like to thank them all for a job well done. In addition, I'd like to thank the athletic director at West Virginia, Fred Schaus, head coach Don Nealon and his staff, and sports information director Joe Bosa. Technical facilities have been provided by NEP Productions of New York. Transmission facilities by UpSouth Corporation of Atlanta, Georgia. Next week, game time is 12:30 Eastern Time for Pittsburgh at Notre Dame on the TVEN Sports Network. And our next telecast featuring Virginia Tech will be coming up against Temple in the 1986 Oyster Bowl game in Norfolk, Virginia, Saturday, October the 18th at 12 noon Eastern Time on most of these Creative Sports Marketing Network stations. Again, the final score in Blacksburg today. The Hokies celebrate with their first win in 5 years over West Virginia. The final, Virginia Tech 13 and West Virginia 7. The Hokies are now 4-1 with South Carolina coming to Lane Stadium. West Virginia drops their third in a row. For Stan White, this is Bob Rathman from Lane Stadium in Blacksburg. So long.